Welcome into TFW Live, the best kept secret in fantasy football, where we keep that week one feeling going all year long. This is episode 336, where we're going to watch the Denver Broncos face off against the Los Angeles Chargers in this fantasy football watch party. I'm Austin Sear here and joined by one of my best friends, Big Travie, as well as our producer extraordinaire, Donnie Tubbs, a.k.a. Don Flick. What's up, boys? And a big Whisper Nation, welcome to you. What is going on? Ton of gratitude to share for our members on YouTube who support the show through a monthly contribution. Gus Ramos, Pizza Belly, Don Caples, Bailey Ziegler, Kevin Dobby, Nick, Brett Sabo, John Credit, Eric Lorenz, and Donnie Tubbs, Jersey J, and Hanimal. If you would like to join our growing list of YouTube members, click join next to the video. Meow. Shout out to those who followed us on social media this week, Jeb Armstrong, Uday Bindra, and Ricky B. And if you would love to join a fantasy football community where you know that you belong, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Would love to get one more subscriber on this stream today. Just one more, could be you. If you're new, let us know where you're streaming in from. We'd love to shout you out on the show. If you're an older fan of the show, let us know where you're watching in from, and we'll probably shout you out too. Jersey J, Albert, what's up? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not reading the show notes that we got here, Travis. You got me confused here. You're throwing me some curveballs that we got on here. Doing this in real time. We got some potential things we could talk about on the stream I'm reading here. We'll get to those in a second. Let's see if there's anything else here I missed, though. I wanted to tell you all about we're doing the underdog run.
Well, we can, but we can do it when we do the bet slip. We can talk.
I'm going to do it now. I'm going to roll, baby. I want to tell you about our underdog fantasy. Best ball drafting isn't the only way to have fun and win money through Underdog. With player prop bets, pick'em, and rival bet slips, you can cash in on all the NFL actions Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Just go to Underdog Fantasy or download the app from the App Store and use it in the promo. And use the promo code TFW for up to $100 in matched deposited money. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code TFW for up to $100 in matched money. Well, there we go, guys. Welcome into the show, everybody who's here now and everybody who will join us later. Travis and Donnie, man, we talked a little bit before the show started about some of our celebrations as well as commiserations from, what are we, through 6 weeks here in the fantasy football season? So I'll kick it over to you here first, Travi. What is just going through your heart right now? I know there's things to mourn. There is things to uplift. I just want to hear from you straight, man. What's going in your mind, in your heart right now?
Oh, I could tell you how my Sunday went by saying that I actually did the cleaning chores in the middle of football Sunday. I took my laptop around to each section of the house. Cleaned while watching Kenneth Walker dong on me in multiple leagues. Well, no, Breece Hall dong on me in multiple leagues. Austin, love you, man. Love you with all my heart. And he goes, why don't we just get on and talk about what we're happy about? Well, I'm happy to announce for my friend Austin that I'm playing him in 3 leagues, and he beat me in all 3 of them. So congratulations to Austin. Overall, I'm feeling okay. I got to be honest. I think doing the chores and doing some of the stuff in the middle of football reminded me, like, it's okay to touch some grass. It's okay to do some other things. Austin, you were on Sunday, 7 hours working a table. You don't have to sit here and just, focus on every little thing that happens. You're actually a little bit more sane when you don't. So I will just say that is a little bit about it. It probably doesn't benefit our brand to be like, hey, don't watch football all the time. Don't consume the content all the time. But sometimes you do want to take a little bit of a break because at the end of the day, yeah. Well, at the end of the day, you can study all the numbers and you can tell yourself all the narratives and you can tell all the thought experiments and what should happen. But guys, this is professional football, and this is a made-up game we made about professional football. Anything can fucking happen at any point, at any time. So that's just my kind of thing. How am I feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. Got 8 leagues. I'm going to lose the undefeated in 2 of them.
Listener league?
That's yeah. Listener league? No. I'm gonna. I could lose in all 3 of them, but we need Josh Palmer to kind of not have a 25-point night in the listener league, and I should be okay. So you never know, and I don't want to sit here and go like, league, man. Yes,
you never know.
Exactly. I looked at it, I was like, has he even come close? I'm like, oh, Josh Palmer's had a 17 and 19-point game in our listener league with our settings.
Did Mac Hollins come close to 30 points before he did it?
Yeah. So, but I'm feeling pretty good. I think for the most part, a lot of stuff is becoming revealing to us. I was really impressed with the Bills-Chiefs game. I thought these were two heavyweight fighters that came and played up to their weight and had some heavyweight punches back and forth. And I just enjoyed watching that game. So, yeah, I mean, now I'm blanking on who was on Sunday night. Oh, that was another good game. I thought Dallas has got something cooking. Without Dak, they've been able to do their thing. So I was getting into some narratives there. But, yeah, I'm feeling good. How about you, Austin? How you feeling, man?
I am feeling actually really good. I'm like, in Listener League, I'm doing horrible. I'm going to go 1-5 over there. And but you should hit on 11, right? You're playing blackjack, you should hit on 11.
Yeah.
And if you get a 5, when you hit and you just keep doing that, it is what it is. And I'm not sitting here going to pretend I'm playing perfect fantasy football. I'm happy with the way I'm playing the game, though. I am, middle of the road in points scored with a couple of tough breaks, and then have like the most points scored against by a very wide margin, and keep playing dudes like Mac Hollins or Sornek. Destroyed my neck. Yeah, Skoronek messed my colonic up too. It was horrible. So just weird things like that. That's going down. But then in our league of record, in our dynasty league, I'm feeling really good about some of the long-term decisions that I had invested in. And like league of record redraft format, picked up Ken Walker in the 8th round. I was really big on Ken Walker. I almost drafted Ken Walker 101 ahead of Breece Hall in our dynasty league where I had the 101 spot. You heard me playing with that just because looking at the film, I liked what I saw out of the Michigan State product in Ken Walker the 3rd more than I did out of Breece Hall. And then it was just like, there's too many undeniable points for Breece. So I did go with Breece in dynasty, but I picked up Breece and Ken Walker in our redraft. And that looks like it's working out great. I think in standard, Breece Hall is like the number 5 overall running back right now. And I don't think we're going to see that really slow down. And I think that I think where we're at today moving forward, Ken Walker's got a real good chance to score more points than Breece Hall rest of season. So I'm feeling really good about that. I'm feeling really good about Jamar Chase's welcome in game. I like how dynamic the Seahawks are looking. We're going to kick it to our Seahawks fan extraordinaire here, Donnie, next. But like Gino, I know for you, Travi, was a letdown, but that team ended up still winning. So it seems like the Seahawks could kind of be a squad not to sleep on week in, week out.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about that. I'm feeling good about a lot of the decisions, a lot of the calls, a lot of the information that's come in, a lot of the evolution of the analysis that we take in. I'm feeling centered, I'd say. What about you, Donnie?
I'm feeling pretty good. My weekend was chaotic because I was celebrating my bachelor party. So on Sunday,
congratulations!
Thank you. On Sunday, I was struggle busting it with my my squad, and we went to the bar and watched the afternoon games, and it was really fun. I even woke up on time to set my lineups for all 8 of my leagues, and I'm doing pretty good. I was 1-4 in my main money league, in my main family league, and I was like 30% chance to win Sunday morning, and I squeaked through, and I saved myself. I'm going 2-4. I still have hope. And that was the worst league I got going on. Other than that, I'm over 500 for most of my other ones. So I've been feeling great. My first year doing this with you guys, working for PFF. It's all coming together. Like you guys talked about, you need those mental breaks. I think we all do. We love the analytics for sure, but it is, just like this season and fantasy football, life is chaotic. It's a balance. So I'm doing well. This season, just overall fantasy football wise, I think I want to talk about chaos again. I just want to talk about the running backs for week 6. Like,
yes.
Would you have imagined Deion Jackson, Ramondre Stevenson, and Kenyon Drake to all be in the top 6 for running backs for week 6? Like, these names come out of nowhere. So you got to hit those waiver wires, you got to hit those trades. And it's just,
Kenyon Drake's the one that's like mind boggling. Cause you're like, Deion Jackson, at least you could write the narrative. Okay, Lindsey's out, or Taylor's out. The opportunity's there. We had the knee tightness for J.K. Dobbins, and then Kenyon Drake, circa 4 years ago, coming out looking like he's just who he was again, and looking good in that offense. Yeah, that's interesting. Now, and it's been kind of weird, right? Like running back has been kind of weird. Now we're starting to get some more things. Are starting to.
Oh, Williams top 5 running back through however many weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Things are starting to solidify quite a bit. You got your rookies like Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker starting to get into that opportunity and show what they're capable of. But, I was thinking about, Austin, talking about these rookie backs before we get into some of these guys' questions. all the Dino heads, all the Dynasty guys we were listening to all summer long, all spring long. Well, these guys in these terrible situations, you know, the Jets and Seahawks in these
triangulate the whole situation, right?
And I just kept thinking like, oh man, I mean, I didn't even give credence ever to the thought that Seattle could be good on offense, ever. Not once did I give credence to that because, you know, it wasn't just Russ leaving. It was Pete and a defensive-minded guy. It was this defense, you know, not being very good. And that's kind of come through in spots, but it was really all these different things where I thought, okay, well, this is not a recipe for success. And I'll be damned, man, just bet on talent, man, sometimes. And I think that I listened to Dwayne McFarland, shout out to our guy over at Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life. And he was talking today. It's like sometimes the math doesn't work out, but you just bet on the talent, you know, and then it happens. And so that's the lesson I'm trying to hammer in these dark times when I didn't take a lot of Breece Hall, when I didn't take a lot of, you know, even ETN and Kenneth Walker. It's like, okay, talent, you know, talent's going to come through. Drake London's another one. He's kind of struggled, but, you know, some of these guys that you look at and you're like, okay, it should be there for them. So,
I mean, you bring up a good point, and it's a mantra that I'm calling it a mantra now, and we've said it this year, and we're kind of coining it, it seems, but guys good enough to do their own work.
Mm-hmm.
Say it a lot at the wide receiver position, the tight end position. It's more rare even at the running back position, but it does exist at the running back position. Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara are
Christian
two names that
McCaffrey,
come to mind. Christian McCaffrey, you know, guys who have been connected to bad offenses, even dangerous offenses, in a sense they could get tackled real quick and there's not a lot of room ever, and they still find ways to get it done.
And I think Ken Walker and Breece Hall are showing that they're kind of capable of that. We're not sitting here saying, now Geno's been good, but like we're not saying a lot of the surrounding cast in the Jets are like especially on the Zach Wilson thing. You know, it's like, but Breece is like ripping off big ass runs and putting them in position to win games and like doing his own work. You know,
Breece
and like
Sauce Gardner, man.
Yeah, dude, Sauce Gardner. Did you see the cheesehead thing, Austin? Wore the cheesehead out? Yeah, I like. I like both were good. I agree with that.
I love that cultural like poking at you stuff. It's if you get so pissed off about a team using your like unofficial symbol to troll on you, it's like, what are we doing here anyways?
You gotta be.
I love him walking.
You gotta be rubber.
Yes, exactly. I loved him walking back, and you saw him like the Packers fans even laughing with him as he came back to give like the hat back.
Lots of the Jets. What the fuck are you gonna say?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah. That's some really good points there about just the like who can do their own work and like trying to triangulate the situation. And I think the triangulation works out when we're dealing with like Jags. Like, you know, this guy's in a position to get a ton of work because they don't have another option.
Cole Kmet.
Yes, right.
Cool.
But guys who are legitimate talents, here one of two things happens. Those guys get fed and they get an opportunity to do their work, or they don't get fed and their team struggles and their head coach gets fired and a new guy comes in who does implement their talented players. It's like one of only two things happens.
Not to just copycat Dwayne, but remember on the mock draft marathon, him and Johnny having a conversation about ETN. Now, this one probably doesn't age as well because ETN hasn't fully broke out. But ETN, he was saying, you know, Johnny's like, hey, Doug Peterson only uses this committee. And he still kind of is doing that. But it's like, you know, Dwayne, I remember Dwayne saying, they do that until they don't. You know, they do that until they get a guy that makes them not do that anymore. Yeah. And so that, I think, is something that is coming up with Breece. You can like Michael Carter. You can like what he does. And I do. I think Michael Carter's fine. I think he's a good between the tackle runner, good pass catcher, all this stuff. But is he great? I don't know that he's great. I don't know that he's generational at the running back position. He did a lot of great things. But Breece Hall is, and now he's demanding that he gets work in the offense because he is so good. And so that's where we're at with right now, and that's checking some of the priors and just understanding talent too.
Both the teams are winning because of it. Like Geno didn't have a good day yesterday, and a lot of it was because of Ken Walker. And Breece Hall has been doing his not so good quarterback Zach Wilson favors too.
Yeah.
Breece Hall, just the confidence for Breece Hall to do a Lambeau leap his rookie year, like in Lambeau, like really, like I love that confidence in a rookie.
It is fun. Damian Pierce shout out here from Albert as well. He's bowling. That one's fun. Yeah, that one's fun. Well, let's talk about feeding our bet slip, boy.
Yeah. Boy. Remember,
So we
promo
got
code TFW gets you $100 in match deposit money. It doesn't get you that 106.
no, look at that. You can get some
Like
of
Austin's
this.
got 106 right there.
You know what that
So
is?
you could get up to 100.
That was originally 116 and I lost $10 on our last bet, dude.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm eating this raspberry coffee cake with my coffee. It's really good.
Oh, that sounds
Anyways.
delicious.
I did like the 1.5 over receptions. Donnie had sent that to us offline for Mike Boone. We got Melvin Gordon questionable, dealing with an injury. I know he had a great game. Melvin Gordon's going to be fine, but I do think that Mike Boone is going to get some work in the passing game.
Yep.
Okay. So let's take a look at some of these slips. So what's kind of stand out? So you're talking Mike Boone on here. Anything on anything jump out to you? You're saying maybe higher on this?
On the receptions, yeah.
I kind of like that.
He had 3 last week.
He's already going to get work, and then the injury to Melvin Gordon, and then Melvin Gordon's fumble issues. They've been known to.
There's outs for him to just kind of. And Murray might be active too.
Yeah.
All right. What's Jersey J saying here? Don't go with instinct. Go with I know nothing about fantasy football, and I'll pick all the overs brain.
There you go.
Well, let me just tell you what we thought about the AFC West. It was going to be over City, and they were just going to dominate. And the Broncos can't score inside the red zone, and the Chargers' defense is banged up, and they almost killed their starting quarterback with a rib cartilage break. So
that's why another over I love right now is Brandon McManus over 1.5 field goals.
They have that one?
They did earlier.
Oh, what?
Scroll down, right there.
I'm
down with that.
Yeah.
2 field goals, baby. Let's go.
Hey, we're getting the overs here.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God. Look at this. 2.0 field goal or extra points.
Touchdowns.
I'm not going on
I like
the
3.
three.
I like the 2 field goals more than the 3 touchdowns.
I'm fine with that. With that. Okay. Any other, before we jump over to our Chargers sets, any other numbers here that we like? And we can do a couple of them on this one. We can do a couple overs. We can do some unders. Latavius Murray, 14.5.
Sorry, I was going to talk about one. I want to talk about the other over I really liked for the Broncos was I think Russ is going to try to put in his hands more because he's hearing all this noise, right? Gino over Russ, like
he doesn't hear the noise, dude. He's just praying. He's praying right now, and what did he say? He's going through the storm with Christ. So
Jesus is exactly Jesus. I think over on the 13.5 rush yards. He's watching him the last 10 years in Seattle. Whenever he tried to put the game in his own hands, he would run the ball more.
I'll tell you what. They are giving him a lot of shit in the media for not running. And he's had 17 or more rushing yards in 3 straight games.
It's done.
I think that's a good one. Yeah.
I think that's an astute pick, Donnie. I love it.
Nobody knows Russell Wilson like Donnie, dude.
They dated in college.
Yeah.
You ever do anything dangerous?
Only with him in college.
All right. Anything on Melvin we like? We got 3 Broncos players. We need to get at least 1 Chargers, and we can do a maximum of 5.
Okay. I'm good with here. Let's pivot to the Chargers.
All right. And I'm really nervous at the passing stats too. I like what we built out here.
And I'm really nervous about having this many Broncos, but they feel like good ones to have.
Yeah. They're low end Broncos.
Yeah, exactly. So. Now we can get into the sexual stuff here with the Chargers.
How are we feeling about anything jumping out to you hardcore Justin Herbert wise? I'm feeling a little blank.
That rushing looks low. Let me see what he's got so far.
He hasn't done much rushing, though.
Yeah, he hasn't. Last week was the first time he
I thought the same thing. I looked and I was like, wait.
Yeah. Maybe last year. Yeah, that's probably right, honestly, Austin.
That's what makes me pause a little on the expectations for Herbert. It's like I don't know if he's operating in a way that we can predict.
Okay. So does that scare you off of the over on the yardage? The yardage, last week was the only time he didn't hit the over on that yardage total right there. So, I mean, it is a lot.
Pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has that's why I think going down, I like the tight end because I think
like going down on the tight end.
Yes, the tight end. You always go down on the tight end. Don't be afraid of the tight end when you go down. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
But I think
Pleasurable.
they're going.
Johnny's saying he eats ass, basically.
Hey, it's 2022.
Who doesn't?
Anyways, the
Stephen A. Smith.
But does he get his own ass licked? That's private.
That's private. That's private.
That's private.
So was it Donald? Was it Parham or
No, Everett. Because
Everett? Where's he at? There he is.
the corner. All this talk is making the corner on the Broncos name elude my brain. But he's going to be on Mike Williams.
Patrick Surtain.
Yeah, Surtain is going to be on Williams, I believe, because Allen's out, and then what do they got? Palmer. I think it'll be harder for Mike Williams to get yards than it will be for Everett. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah,
So you're
I'm
thinking
afraid of
potential over?
Well, yeah. On the what?
I like the yards for Everett,
Okay.
but that's just tentative. That's my least favorite out of all the ones I sent you.
He's hit the yardage 3 out of 5 weeks so far. I would be okay with that. All those weeks, obviously, with Keenan Allen out of the lineup because he's been out since week 1.
And he's still out, bitch. I'm just kidding.
Anything we like? So we got that. I think that's our 4th. We can hold that in there. We've also got some Austin Eckler.
I like betting on Eckler tonight. He's been coming on. I know the Broncos have kind of been spotty on run D.
What do we think about over the total 102 or the 62.5 rushing or the 37.5 receiving?
Well, he's had what's the receiving line? 30.5?
37.5 receiving yards.
I like the receptions because he's been over 4.5 3 out of 5 games, and then he had 4 the other 2 games.
Yeah, you have to get 5.
Yeah, you have to get 5.
But it is a lot, and it could actually play into that whole Surtain on Mike Williams, meaning we're gonna dump it off to Eckler quite a bit.
Tight end or the Eckler.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Is there one that you like? I also like the receiving yardage because he's hit it 3 out of 5, and then a 4th time he got 36. So last week he didn't get there, but I do kind of like the receiving yardage. I guess that would be between the receptions or the receiving yardage. What are you feeling, Austin?
I kind of feel just like the big 102.5. Rushing and receiving.
Okay.
Maybe I'm leaning on also with the streamers just because I like that we can root for any time Eckler gets the ball.
I like that. Go! I'm with it because he's hit it both in back-to-back weeks now that he's heated up, and they've kind of gone back to him as the focal point. So I'm with it.
You guys with this one? We all right?
Yeah.
I love it. Yep.
That's a fun one to root for, too.
Two of my fantasy leagues don't like it, but I like it personally.
Well, this is kind of you hedge your emotion.
Yeah.
Oh, there we got to get the Russ and the Everett.
Russ rushing yards.
The same.
Yeah, the same. Everett
they just
receiving yards.
Nice.
That was like serendipitous. I didn't really.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
These are there 33.5 receiving yards.
Yep.
All right, let's get $5 in there. Pay out 100.
Whoa.
Oh fuck yeah!
All right, so we got
Calvin
Mike
Brown.
Boone.
Says, yo, what's up, Whisper Nation? Hashtag Broncos Country. Hashtag Let's Ride.
Let's ride. I like how it's becoming organic or like ironic now.
We need the Mitch Trubisky one too.
Oh yeah,
that one's so good.
Some of that. We got Mike Boone higher, 1.5 receptions. Brandon McManus over on the field goals, 2 field goals or more. Eckler there over 103 total yards or more. Russell Wilson's going to rush for 14 yards or more, and Gerald Everett's going to get 34 receiving yards or more. All right, this is fun. I like this one.
That we want to lock in for those, or do we just want to do like a rival slip or?
I'm gonna say something right now. We've only won on the rivals, right? I think we need to.
We won our money back when we had our 2.
Johnny, you ruined my point right there.
I mean, you're right. I'm wrong.
You ruined my point with the truth, man. Also,
we did recently win.
Well, they're showing the replay of fucking Mike Gesicki's gritty, dude. It's so good.
Whisper Nation, we see your questions coming in. We'll get all of these, but we got to lock in our bet slip because we only got like 17 minutes left. Ooh. So we'll get in all the bet slips we want to get in, and then we will get to you.
Sauber plus 51.5 receiving. Oh my god.
Dude, I'm always leaning on these ones because it's just like Cortland Sutton could get 48 yards. Just straight up.
Yeah.
I don't think he does, but in my like betting brain, I feel like that's a smart bet. That's a huge handicap.
It's a big maybe. Big maybe.
KJ Hamler, similar kind of thing. Because he could catch one pass for 41.5 yards, and now he's at 82.
I kind of like that Hamler one.
I like the Hamler.
Because remember, he like freaked out at the end of last game?
Yes.
So like maybe they feed him
Yes.
to get him going.
I like it.
Didn't throw to me. I was wide open.
That's actually the audio. We captured the audio.
Right
Yeah.
there.
So here we got extra points made. Oh, look at this. I love they're bringing kickers back. What's up, underdog? Dustin Hopkins, Brandon McManus, extra points. I kind of want to go with the Chargers.
I do
on
too.
this.
I like that
Yeah.
one.
You like this, Donnie?
Yeah.
I rather Hopkins than McManus. Yeah. If we're
Yeah,
going
right.
with
Me
that.
too.
Yep.
Let's do it. Okay.
Dulcich or Saubert tonight? Zachary is asking it.
What's up, Zachary?
We want to get this
Dulcich,
in
baby.
before he has to set his lineup. You going Dulcich right off the AIR?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, I'm with you. I love that he's a down the field stretcher, seam guy. I think you go for the big play here and hope that he gets in there.
They were very excited for him in the offseason when they drafted him. So
Yep.
I'm
Third
excited
round
to see what they have
capital
for him.
on Dulcich. So
There we go.
All right.
What do you go with this passing yards? I mean, 42.5 extras for Russell Wilson on a
don't like
broken
that.
ribbed.
let's
Broken
see.
rib
What do we have for
cartilage.
Wilson?
I don't know.
Wilson's
that's
been
just
around 270, 230, 219 in his bad games, we'll call him. Herbert, where we say he was kind of 228, 340, 297, 334. I mean, that's not a ton over what Russ is doing. What's the buffer again? 30?
42.5.
42.5.
Kind of like the Russ one on that one. Are we getting duped again into like this is the game? Russ kind of comes through again. I do feel like we're trying to be like, oh, he's gonna run for more. He's gonna get that passing. I do like the buffer.
He's gonna cook.
I have to admit that I like the buffer.
Yeah.
But
What about you, Donnie?
I like it. I tentatively put it in. See what else is out there.
All right. Too low on the passing attempts. Too low on the completions. This is interesting. We keep picking on Cortland Sutton here, but 30.5 receiving yards for Austin Eckler over Cortland Sutton. That's got my interest a little.
A little spicy.
Okay. It's Eric Saubert, 21.5 over.
I like the Eckler side of that.
I like the Eckler side on this one. Me too. Receiving yards, Eckler versus Judy. I kind of like that one too.
Yeah.
I like the Eckler side. I kind of like the Eckler side on this KJ Hamler one too.
We have the Hamler one up there.
I know, and I do like that Hamler one. I think more. Ooh, I like the Eckler on the Melvin Gordon versus.
I'd be good with that one. I do like that one.
That one there.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any Eckler love here, so I know we're going to definitely get in an Eckler bet. It's just which one do we like the most? Donnie, which one do you? Wait, go ahead, Travis.
I do like this one because I just feel like we talked about the outs for like Melvin Gordon to like disappoint this game, because like the fumbling issue, he's got the injury. Like there are some outs for us for him to just kind of be done after some usage. So that could be one I'd be interested in. Like the Eckler rushing yards here over Melvin.
I like that one a lot. It's just 10.5, and Melvin Gordon hasn't looked good, and Eckler has looked good.
Right.
I like it.
All right. Not in love there with the Judy versus Mike Williams. Mike Williams versus Cortland Sutton. I kind of like Mike Williams on that side, but not. It's still a toss up for me, to be honest. Tell me if you see any ones here that jump out to you in a big way.
Nah.
We don't have any Saubert action yet. 21.5. Rushing yards, 41.5 for Josh Kelly over Austin Eckler. I'm trying to stay away from that. Okay. So now we've seen the end of the rival bets. We've got 1, 2.
I like what we got.
4.
I like these 4.
You like
I mean,
the 4?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. I feel really good about all of these. Let's just lock these in. 50
Lock
bucks.
it in.
So we've got KJ Hamler over Cortland Sutton with a 41.5.
We just need one of those. We need one of those bombs out of Hamler. Yep.
Or just a blanked game from Cortland Sutton.
Right.
Yep.
But we still need Russell Wilson to get us 42.5. Or we don't. There's a lot of ways that this could happen.
We
don't need to
took
start
Herbert,
pretending.
right? Or did we take?
No,
we
we
took
took
Russ. We took Russ on the
We
buffer.
did.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then we took Eckler, though, despite the Melvin Gordon buffer.
Right.
Feel good about this one.
Yeah.
I like
Same.
it. I like in my 20-man dynasty league, I need Russell Wilson and Mike Boone to get me 32 points.
Was it a
to win.
6-point
So,
touchdown?
I believe so. Full point PPR as well. So it's
Feel
possible.
better about that. Yeah.
I think we got all the main ones that we wanted to on the rivals.
it.
This is kind of cool. I think we did
Do we-
all.
Do
We
wanna
did
do
all
like
hires
a-
on the pickups. I think maybe
so
going where
sorry,
I'm
I
going.
cut you off.
No, are
Do
you
we
thinking
wanna
about like
do
a lower
3%
bet?
under? Yeah, like a three.
Yeah.
A 3 bet under. We're like right there. We're melding.
Right,
in
there.
our
We're on
minds,
the
man.
same page.
That was great. That was great TV.
We're trying to
planned
get
it.
some unders now.
Okay, we got the nasty game. So does an over on an interception count as an under?
Yeah, I think
No.
so.
Probably
No?
not.
Well,
Kind
I
of.
like it.
kind of.
Yeah.
Like I think it would apply in this situation if we're feeling an interception from Russ. Then my one counterpoint to it would be Russell Wilson's under a microscope right now, and maybe he's a little extra careful. And then the counter to that counterpoint would be,
Maybe
who
he's
cares?
not
That'll make him fuck
careful.
up.
Right. It's another primetime game. I don't know if he wants this right now. Does he want this, Smoke?
He wants to give the Seahawks a top 10 pick. That's what he wants to do.
I don't think Russell Wilson knows a lot of things about what he wants.
That's true. That's true.
Watch
Maybe.
out.
Maybe on here.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe on the under on the passing attempt. Maybe. I don't love it though. Maybe under the 73.5
I like
total
that.
rushing and receiving yards. I kind of like this a lot, actually.
We've been really picking on Melvin Gordon. It's a good one. It flows with it. We could win it. Yeah.
And I remember last week Brett Johnson playing Melvin Gordon and him needing that overtime for him to get into the double digits total. And he was like around 60 yards or something like that before that. And Mike Boone is looking better. So, okay, we're good there.
Mike Booyah.
Cortland Sutton. It could go any direction real
Maybe.
quick. I don't.
Yeah.
How about the under on Judy's receiving yards?
What about the under on Judy's receptions?
What is it?
4.
I guess he could.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Which was 4.5.
He's only gotten 4 twice.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a tabled one.
And he's gotten exactly 4 in those games. So
I wanted 4.5.
Yeah.
He was targeted
So many-
8 times last week. Only got 3 receptions, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that game also went to overtime. So
This one could be a really silly pick but we'll sit on it for a second.
I mean, unders are silly.
They are.
This whole thing.
What about
is
Eric
silly.
Saubert? Do we think he's got a realistic shot at getting 16 yards?
He had
Yeah,
over it.
probably.
The last 2 weeks, he had over it.
Okay.
I think.
What about Greg Dulcich?
See,
No,
I wanted
I
to
like
go
the-
the higher on Greg
I like the
Dulcich,
higher.
but I drafted him in Dynasty, so I got a little bit
Okay.
of love for
Yeah.
old Greg.
Okay. Well, then you've been watching him closer.
I mean, I've been watching him on the IR. He's had a hamstring injury for the last 4 weeks.
Came back.
He came back. He got activated tonight, and he's starting over Alberto. So they have been waiting for him to get back, but they've also used this Saubert guy in rotation with all their other tight ends. So
What about
Yeah,
Beck? Do you guys remember Beck? From a few
yes,
weeks ago?
how could I forget him? How could I
One
forget
stud,
the
dude.
future Hall of Famer?
Which makes
He's,
me say,
he's already in the Broncos Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
how many snaps would Dulcich need here to get 20 receiving yards? I mean, 1 if it went that way, sure. But I'm saying, like, realistically, how many snaps would he actually need for a play that he's involved in? And Russell
45,
targets him and he
40%.
gets it over there. Like,
Is he legit starting Donnie over Alberto?
All I heard was Albert O was benched and Dulcich was going in. But I mean, it wouldn't.
Because if he's starting, then I'd feel a little bit better or a little bit worse about it. But if they're starting Saubert, then fucking put the under.
I think he'll get 40% of snaps, and I think that's enough to get over personally.
Also, should we have smashed the over on Latavius rushing yards?
Yeah, what is this?
14 and a half?
He might not play.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I
He
guess.
just might not play.
Yeah.
It feels like Pierre Strong.
Bro,
with
we are
the
going to be
pig-
so tied to Melvin as we go that route. Just like all the Melvin hate. All
he
right.
just he gets a 75.
How about the
yard run
lower
first
on the 2 extra points made? They can only score 1 touchdown.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, that's actually. If it was
I
2.5,
don't know.
I'd be smashed.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
need
I
the
like
hook.
2.5.
We need the
Yeah.
hook for sure.
Yeah, close. Okay, moving on here. Justin Herbert. I mean, maybe the lower on the pass attempts. How did he do last week?
Let's see. So
35 and a half.
Last week he had 34, the week before 39, the week before 45, the week before 48, and then he had 34 in week 1.
I don't love it then.
Yeah.
Any love for a Kelly under 23 and a half rushing yards?
So hit or miss,
No,
man.
he's-
That scares me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like the under on Mike Williams receiving yards going up against Surtain.
Yeah.
He'll probably get fed, but is he going to get all that yardage?
And he's kind of had a few good weeks, right?
Yeah. I think
Well,
this is an Eckler, Everett, kind of mix, and Mike Williams. Sit down.
Sit down, bitch.
So if we did Palmer then as the sit option or the lower under receiving yards, any consideration going to like Joshua Palmer, or we think that he's going to be the beneficiary from that underutilization?
I
For
think he
Williams?
could, but we also have DeAndre Carter, Everett, and Eckler to compete within those like underneath roles.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the under on. Let me see what even has Palmer cracked 40 yards.
Who's below Carter right there?
Yeah, so
Carter?
Palmer's only gotten over 30 yards once. He got on 99 against Jacksonville, but
Who?
he's played Palmer.
Carter. Oh, Palmer.
Okay.
Under on the 39.
So
and a half?
yeah, he's hit the under 4 out of 5 weeks.
So
Okay.
then
Like
we're
that.
getting
Yeah.
both starting receivers under 109 yards or 110 yards.
I mean, those receivers, yeah.
The starting wide receivers.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Feels a little.
Invested in, but I think if we look at the other slips and the way we feel the game's going to go, I kind of like this
Yeah.
Okay.
because
I like-
we like Eckler, we like Everett, we don't necessarily like the outside big guys.
I agree.
Okay.
What's the Trey McKitty? 6.9.
They got like 15 tight ends over there, and they use them all. What do we think about the over on the field goals made for Hopkins? Did we do that one? We did that one. Huh? No, we did the rival. We did the rival. Okay.
No, we did. No,
we did
the
over. We did over
Yeah.
1.5 field goals for McManus.
Yeah, we got that
Yeah.
one.
Okay. We like that one.
We gonna go with the 4 here.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yep.
True underslip. True underdog story.
Let's do it.
Lock it in.
Literally the commercial that just played a Chick-fil-A story. That's funny.
I need to log into that.
Submit. Yeah.
Man, people. we
Invite
got
people to
some-
make the same picks as you, it says, or fade you, and win or lose together.
Oop.
Let's go, Zach. We'll get you your
He says
point.
1
would be-
point out of that tight end duo there. Let's get Dulcich there. Get you that 1 point. Just need a catch.
Sir.
I think we got our 3 bets now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's take a look back at what we've got here.
I'm feeling good about these.
Feel pretty good about them too.
Feeling
All
real freaking naughty.
We got 2 4s and a
I like it.
5. We got Melvin Gordon lower than 73 rushing and receiving yards. We got Mike Williams under 70.5, Jerry Jeudy under 4 receptions, Josh Palmer under 39 receiving yards. That's our one of our dog shit.
Ugly. Yeah,
Okay.
dog shit. The underdog shit.
We've got Hopkins favored over McManus for the extra points made.
Love it.
We got AJ Hamler ahead of Cortland Sutton with receiving yards and a 41.5 point bonus for Hamler.
Boner.
Rushing yards, we like Austin Eckler to score more than Melvin Gordon, even though they give Melvin Gordon 10.5. We like Russell Wilson to have more passing yards than Justin Herbert, and they give Russell Wilson 42.5. Okay, I feel good about that.
Let's go.
last one, we've got 5 picks, higher than 13.5 rushing yards for Russell Wilson. We think he's going to scurry. Mike Boone, higher than 1.5 reception. Going to get some pass catches. Brandon McManus, we think he's going to get 2 field goals.
At least.
Oh, so this was, we did McManus. We didn't do Hopkins.
Yeah, McManus. Yeah.
Okay.
Which kind of lines up with I think we did the rival kickers, didn't we?
For extra points.
Yeah, he's going to get more XP, extra points.
More
but
experience.
Austin brought it up in the start of the show that they can't. You might have. I can't remember. But the Broncos can't score in the red zone. So
right. Yeah, they're very inefficient there.
I'll say Hopkins has been a little bit of a disappointment at the kicker position, and I only know that because I picked him up as my kicker in a league or two, and then I was like, dude, you're like not getting me that many points. That should be better.
Just the AFC West underperforming, man.
I know, right? And then Austin Eckler, I'm gonna be. It's fun to root for this one. Higher than 102. 103.
Well, we've got him in a couple spots too. We got the rushing over at Melvin, and we've also got him here, and we've got anti Mike Williams, anti Josh Palmer. So we got some things working for an Eckler game here. We want Eckler.
Yes.
So that's nice. That'll be a good one.
All right, there we go. Did we get all of our questions?
We have not. We haven't gotten through all of them here. We've got some good ones running through here. So maybe we'll go to the top here. Jason Hackwood saying, "What's up, Gordon? Tonight thoughts." Well, if you watched us put together those bet slips, we are kind of anti-Gordon tonight. Just thinking now he's got a great matchup. The Chargers are a terrible run defense, so there is some hope for you to get whatever fantasy points you need. We kind of liked the anti-take on him this week just because of the neck, the fumble issues, the other backs. They brought in Latavius Murray. They got Mike Boone. They got some things working here. Jason asking about Eckler. Same thing with our bet slip, right? Like we love Eckler tonight, so we're in on that. Let's see. Jersey J says he needs 37 points from Russ and Herbert to go undefeated in my big money league. I'm nervous. Super flex, I'm guessing. That's awesome, man. 37 between the two of them. You should get that.
Yeah, man. I think it'll happen, but it's not awesome.
Yeah,
both
it's not guaranteed.
Up. It'll excite
me. Right.
Oh man, I was gonna join our bet slip with a side bet slip with the same overs, and I locked it in at 5:15 and it didn't let me do it.
That means we got a kickoff coming. That's exciting.
My parlay, I got Eckler, 1 touchdown, Mike Williams and Sutton, each with 40 yards. That's okay. We can have 40 yards out of Mike Williams. So that we can root for you that with you. Jersey J making fun of himself on Sunday said, I think you should sit Gabe Davis. Would not have been good for you.
Gabe.
Yeah, he was just saying Gabe Davis is a one-trick pony, and I'm, I get that. But when Josh Allen throws you football, it's hard to bench Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
I'm with you. He does not get enough targets. He doesn't demand targets. I don't know that he does everything very special. I think he gets down the field. He had some real Mossian production off of 3 catches, but he's not he's not going to be your Tyreek Hills or your Stephon Diggs or your guys that are demanding targets and Jefferson, but he's going to have big games.
Which, man, those two guys, Tyreek and Stephon Diggs, along with Cooper Tupp too. Did you see how many yards, targets, and tutties they're on pace for? They're all on pace for around 1,900 yards and a fuck ton of catches.
I think we might be seeing in real time. We've been talking about it for years now. Receiving is going to be the focal point. This league's changing, and in real time, we are witnessing these main veins of these offenses be the wide receiver position, and we're seeing these because these teams want to throw, they want to be aggressive, and we're just seeing probably offensive line issues mattering more to the running game, and the age on some of these backs maybe.
The game has just changed, and the game has changed as it always does towards a more skilled disposition, whether it's the NBA and 35-foot three-pointers getting cranked out on a regular basis, or it's one-handed catches in the NFL. These stupendous plays become commonplace. People practice them. They become good at them. And who's getting paid right now in the NFL with contracts that we hadn't seen before in the last couple of years? Quarterbacks, yes, but wide receivers, right? A big one. Kirk, 25 mil. Oh my God, all these things coming through. It is looking like it's becoming more and more and more of a passing league. And those skilled positions, whether it's pick a skilled position, like they are going to them in main veins, just like you said, Travis. So like this could be, I love that take. Like a major shift in the NFL towards,
because we were just asking, right, 3 weeks ago. Other than the three rookie running backs we're talking about kind of profusely, but also we were just talking a couple of weeks ago, like where are the running backs at? Where is the elite running back at? And like they're save for a couple teams that are giving their guys 20 plus touches. We're getting timeshares and aggressive passing attacks and things like that are getting in the way. Now I think recency bias would tell you once in a while, every year we do this, we think this, and then the weather changes and we get teams running a bit more and defenses get a little more film and things tighten up. But I do think that the league is generally going.
Think about this too, man. There's a lot of points suggesting that trend. We talked about the rookie wide receivers for how many years. Like my whole thing was I passed on getting Odell Beckham Jr. his rookie year when Brett Johnson tried to trade him to me for just the Arizona Cardinals defense, who was a good defense at that point in time. But, we're trading a defense for Odell Beckham, who was like on the edge of a wide receiver one that year, I think, because my thinking was we just don't see rookie wide receivers break 1,000 yards that often. Mike Evans was like the 9th or 10th rookie wide receiver to do it. But since Mike Evans, every year it's like which rookie wide receiver now is going to be that rookie wide receiver to break 1,000 yards. And now it's like which one or two or which few might be breaking it. So
how
it
many
does make sense.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
it doesn't
I wanted
surprise
to add
me.
on. Sorry, I wanted to add on to what Travis said about the offensive line not being as good, and that's why we're seeing more of these skill players. Is because so many colleges are running the spread offense now, so the offensive linemen don't need to develop
smaller
the
offensive
skills
line,
that they need for the NFL. So that's where we're seeing more of the passing in the NFL to make up for that as well.
It's all kind of like working together in that sense. And then the last point here on it was, we just saw Cooper Kupp push for the best wide receiver year of all time. I think every couple of years we're going to see somebody press for that title. A few years back, Antonio Brown and Julio Jones. These guys are both like, oh, will they get 2,000 yards receiving this year? It's like, oh, maybe. And then it took like a little bit of a dip, just a little bit. But then these rookies come in who are so freaking good, whether it be Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, even AJ Brown. Like these are guys you're looking at that can push it that way.
Right. And that's what's interesting about those two right there that you named, Chase and Jefferson, because Kupp could still do it again this year, just with the state of what
Diggs as well.
He's on pace to do better, right? Than he did last year. And Diggs is becoming a main vein. I do think that there's more weapons in that offense, but still he's demanding a ton of targets. Anyways, but Jefferson and Chase and their age, that could be something we're talking about for years and years and years about like, oh, are they going to do it this year? The one thing I'll say about Chase is like, obviously Higgins exists. And until they get somebody that's as aggressive of a play caller, they may not have to push it that much, but still Chase is obviously a guy that can explode any given game. And if he does get into a scenario where Higgins gets hurt and they have to come back in a ton of games, like that's going to be a recipe for success. So the Chargers went for it on 4th, got the first down. Herbert back to pass here. He is sailing a ton of balls.
No yards for Mike Evans. Hello, bet slip. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Did we get this one from Blue
Big
Crew? Who's the better pickup?
Standard.
Thornton, Allen Robinson, or Robbie Anderson?
I'm going to go with
I think Thornton
Allen Robinson.
got 30% snaps. I'd probably go Allen Robinson as well.
Had a good day yesterday.
Yeah,
and like how did that day yesterday?
Yeah, and I would say about Allen Robinson, what I was saying even a couple weeks ago is that he's right up there with Kupp in red zone targets on the team. So they continue to use him in the end zone. If he can become if they can consistently get more to the end zone and he can convert on those, then I think, yeah. And especially it's non-PPR. We say all the time with standard leagues, touchdowns sway things so much more. So I think he's a better bet to score some touchdowns than these other guys right now. We just see like middle or underachieving wide receivers traded in the middle of the season. That's not good. So Robbie's not on this list for me. And Thornton is a rookie, so you probably get some inconsistencies out of him as well. So I like Robinson.
I got a little bit more. I do have a soft spot for Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
That's decently documented. But I look at the Cardinals, the way they use Marquise Brown, who's going to be gone for 6 weeks. Now, of course, they get DeAndre Hopkins back, who you say, like, well, that's going to take that role. So maybe that's just a moot point then with Robbie Anderson. But if Hopkins wasn't back, I'd be like, how do we not at least consider?
I think Robbie Anderson is worth considering given the success of Marquise, like you said, and the success of Christian Kirk last year as a deep slot play.
Thank you.
So I'm with you on. I'm going to remind you what you said 2 weeks ago, maybe, or even a week ago about Kyler Murray being a sell for you because of the state of the offense. That's where I'm at with the Cardinals, because it's like, in theory, assume logical coaching. Robbie Anderson, decent fit for them. They have the need. Yeah, they suck.
Dude, there's a thing. The spirit of a team matters. And I mean, Travi, I was telling you about Aaron Rodgers yesterday. It bummed me out so much to see us down by just 2 scores with like 4 minutes left or something. And they've got Jordan Love warming up. And I'm like, this is concerning for 2 reasons. Either one, we're like giving up, which I'm like, what the fuck, dude? This is not what you do. Or Aaron Rodgers is not our best chance to win. And that is also not good. So,
yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, the spirit of it down. It was looking to me like the prior. It was looking to me like they're saying, let's pack it in. It's just not happening this game. And that's what's happening. That's bad for fantasy. I mean, Carson Wentz, he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. I also got to wonder, like, how much of the words you suffered this week factoring into that hurt finger. Because it's a fucking finger, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, I mean, we got the psychology of it all for sure at play. Which I thought yeah, I thought it was really astute when you were talking about that with Kyler, because I was like, it was again that math versus kind of the psychology angle. It's like math versus psychology all the time in football and in fantasy football. And we're looking at this situation with Kyler, and it's like, well, he can run and, he can scramble and he can throw it deep. Well, this team just lost another lineman for the season. Like, they are not a functioning, cohesive offense. We were talking off air before you came on, Austin, me and Donnie, and I said, what is up? Like, is Seattle's defense good or bad? Because 3 weeks ago, they gave up, 40 whatever points to the Lions. Then they gave up 30 whatever points to the Saints. Then they come in and Arizona doesn't score a touchdown against them.
No, they gave up 3 points.
Does not score a touchdown. Kyler Murray, the air raid, Cliff Kingsbury, offensive guru, no touchdown.
1 field goal.
Shout out Saturday night. Chelsea and I are laying down in bed looking at our lineups. And she's like, in our league of record, I need a defense. What do you think? And I'm like, I don't love the Seattle defense as is, but I like this matchup. And she's like, you don't think this matchup's going to put up points? I think it's going to have some points, but I think it's also going to have chaos. And that's what I'm looking for in these games. And I think they did okay.
They were the number 1 defense, I think. They were number 2 defense.
That was a more ballsy of a call I could have made. I mean, I think Arizona's team total implied was 25 points. I mean, that's what we were dealing with. But yeah, I mean, the chaos factor is a factor. This offense for me is just not one you've made 2 good calls, in my opinion, on Kyler Murray as a sell and DeAndre Hopkins as a sell. Now we'll see. Maybe it's a situation where Hopkins comes back and just gets fed targets, and it's kind of because Marquise Brown was getting fed. Yeah. So it could be a situation in PPR where like DeAndre is just going to be like, this team is ass, but DeAndre is getting so much volume.
That's a situation you see. Like the Rams haven't been a good offense at all. But Cooper Kupp is still balling, right? Like, Kyler Murray's not good. The Cardinals aren't good, but his number 1 option in Marquise Brown is good for your fantasy purposes.
I'm trying to think of who else kind of fits that bill right now, because that's a good call out. Like Kupp, obviously. Guys
who are like bad teams,
dog shit team, but keeps getting fed. Cortland Sutton's kind of a watered down version of that, because Broncos have been they've been kind of ass, but he's been good. Actually, they haven't been kind of ass. They've been ass.
I'll put the running back version into
like the ass that John Flick eats.
Which running back are you talking about, Doc? And his ass.
Christian McCaffrey. And
do
you guys think he's going anywhere? If I was the Bills, I would give him my 1st round pick right now, 100%.
Well, Johnny made a great point. He popped on for a little spot on the Sunday show, and Johnny said, well, they could give James Cook in that deal. So they could give picks and Cook. And if I'm the Panthers, James Cook was a 2nd round pick.
Why not? Right?
So give me like a decent pick and James Cook. I like that deal. If I'm the
sports
Panthers.
writers would like that deal too. I don't think the
Oh, that was-
future fans
yeah.
of Buffalo or of whoever are going to like, because I don't think James Cook is
Yeah.
awesome, but yeah, I think that you win and the sports writers be like, oh, A- on this trade for them. Good job.
Yeah, and whether or not James Cook is good or whatever, I'm just saying it's another dice roll.
Yeah,
you're
totally
I
right.
don't know if you have a dice roll in Chuba Hubbard, or in Chuba Hubbard right now. Like I think we've seen enough in.
I might have already rolled that dice. And
Yeah,
thought it was.
Yeah.
and it was snake eyes, and it's not good. So, that would be my point on that one. But yeah, I thought that was a decent take. I don't know if Christian McCaffrey gets dealt, but I mean, does Buffalo need Christian McCaffrey? Is that what you're saying? Like,
Buffalo's better than but
yeah, like I don't know.
They would just be unstoppable. I don't know.
They said they wanted multiple
unstoppable
firsts.
They got.
That's what Carolina
That's
wants.
Yeah, that's great.
Which isn't going to happen.
Ooh, Russ
That's
going
what they
down
say
here.
right now to try to start an arms race, but
What would you realistically give up? Like Travi, let's say our Packers didn't have, let's say Aaron Jones destroyed his knee, which did you see any updates on his injury? He was hobbling off.
so he hobbled off. I was wondering why, because I was telling Donnie I didn't see a lot of the game, but I was telling Donnie, I'm like, I know it's rainy. Red Zone's telling me that. Scott Hansen, bless his soul, is telling me it's rainy and it's cold. And I'm like, look down. Aaron Jones has 5 carries.
He hobbled
What
off.
in the actual fuck? So
I watched him at one
probably
point.
why.
He hobbled off. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say
I
that
have
it's
not-
serious.
I've not heard anything. In
Maybe
fact,
it's cramps.
they reported on Randall Cobb today, and I didn't hear anything about Aaron Jones. So maybe it's not serious because I
Or
feel
maybe
like
it's super serious.
yeah, he's dead right now. They're weekend at Bernie's right now. They're trying to make him look alive. If we didn't have anybody instead of 2 good backs or decent backs here,
Ooh, no catch.
What would be the max price for CMC the Packers could pay for you to still feel good about it, Travis?
a second and a third or a second and a fifth or something like that. Like I
I think
don't.
that's
I'm not giving up a first, but it's hard for me to really gauge that with Aaron Jones and Dylan on the roster because
on top of that,
running back's just such a replaceable position for the most part.
What about you,
100%.
Donnie?
I was gonna say on top of that, that's a great price for a team like the Packers. But for one, if I am the Eagles, the Chiefs, or the Bills, I'm putting my first round pick on the table today. I think it instantly makes them a better team, and they can carry them to the Super Bowl, which people think already.
It is like one piece. It's like almost like the only
right?
piece for them, right?
Yeah, they're all kind of just average of the road running back position. If they add McCaffrey to those offenses, I think it would carry them.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad point. And
I will
those teams
say
are
that-
projected to be better. So it's not a great.
I'm trying to
first-round
wrap
pick.
my head around if the Bills need somebody like CMC or if they prefer they need like a Ramondre type back. Like I want a good between the tackles grinder that can catch passes. Like I don't need it to be a pass. I don't need do I need an Eckler? Because the other thing about those guys is they've been fragile. So I don't know. But yeah, probably. I mean, obviously, you're going to take CMC if you can get him at a good price for those contenders. Kansas City's the one out of those 3 that you mentioned, because I think Philly's okay and happy with what they have at running back. Because even Miles Sanders is doing his thing, but even Boston Scott behind him, they're fans of him, and that's what I would say there. But Kansas City, man, I mean, every other week it's a new guy. So clearly, Andy Reid's not really in love with any of them. You gave him a CMC.
Who's the one this week?
I think McKinnon got most of the work. And then Pacheco got some in the second half again. I mean, it's just going to continuously be a 3-spoked wheel that they're going to run out there. Because CEH, again, started the game, got the first red zone, opportunity. But, yeah, it's 9 carries only, I think. So, it's, as long as those 3 are healthy, that's how they're going to roll it.
Talk about
This
running
game-
backs. Is that our boy Melvin?
Yeah,
No,
that's
that was-
Melvin.
That was Gordon.
Pretty good about our under pick so far on Melvin. I haven't just seen him look like awesome. 0-0. Getting close to halfway through this first quarter. What up, Squid's Giant Chode?
Squid's Giant Show. What it do, baby? Projected to win 88.5 to 88. I'm up 7.2 right now in full point PPR. I've got Everett. He's got Sutton. You think I got it? If you're up 7 with Everett, I kind of like that.
I like it. from what we
We've
talked
been-
about. And doing
Yeah,
the
we've
split.
been.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you
Go
what,
ahead.
though, Broncos getting sacked. It's like
Yep.
they're about to get into the red zone, and no, they're not. We're gonna get a McManus field goal.
You know the tight ends we talked about, Russell throwing to?
Yeah,
Guess what two
Saubert.
tight ends have receptions right now?
Beck, Saubert.
Oh, Beck does, and Tomlinson does.
Yeah, see the other guy
No,
that
no
we have no
Saubert,
idea who's.
no,
I've never even heard of
it.
it. That the guy's name's Eric too, because there's two Erics. Eric
Yep.
Tomlinson, Eric Saubert. Yep. Khalil Mack
And
getting a sack there on Russ. Oh, where's Russ's rushing yards at? Probably 0 right now.
0, I believe.
Negative.
I don't think sacks count as negative anymore. Nope. Nothing. Nada.
I mean, but at the end of the day, do you see Christian McCaffrey getting dealt?
I don't know. It's gonna be tough. They're asking for multiple firsts. I don't think any team will come close to that. He's a running back, injury prone.
They're more
fantastic
likely to
talent,
get
but-
more and actually still like make a good deal by selling DJ Moore, I think. Not get more, but like it's a better deal. Like DJ Moore isn't putting fans in your stadium. CMC is. So like you keep
Yep.
CMC there, you go trade out Moore and now Robbie Anderson, and you get some pieces back and you work with that. Because I'll tell you what, Carolina, have you worked one of their games? You worked the Carolina New York game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so their defense has actually got some talent on it, and they were giving the Rams. I mean, everybody's kind of giving the Rams a hard time, but the Panthers, they've got some speed and some fun players on defense.
Yeah.
So
I like their young corners. You know, even
Yeah.
they lost Gilmore, but I think they're hoping for the quarterback out of Ohio State for the first overall pick.
what about that quarterback at Tennessee, Hooker? Yeah.
I didn't know much about him until this.
No, I didn't know about him
Alabama.
either. But he's. I don't know if he threw a pick in that game, but he's had like. Did he throw a pick against Alabama? I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't. I was.
But I know he has
starting
some.
to
He had some. If he did, he had some crazy streak before that he hadn't
Yeah.
thrown an interception in.
From what I saw, it was a 43-42 game. Holy crap! And Tennessee, beat
Yeah.
Alabama. That's huge.
Yeah,
and then
Tennessee
Utah
was
beat
good.
USC with
Yeah.
Reisner as their quarterback.
A fucking 2-point conversion, dude.
Yeah.
I was letting myself get a little bit excited about the USC. I don't have a college team, but that would be my college team is USC.
I grew up in LA, so I've always not liked them because I've been an Oklahoma fan, and then they stole our head coach and quarterback this offseason. So
Yeah,
hate
I
them
was-
even more.
I was getting a little excited about the pairing and what they got
Caleb's
going
doing
on.
Great. Yeah, Caleb Williams, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that 2-point conversion. I wish they would have just let it kick the extra point, but that was the ballsy move, and it paid off, man.
Yeah. Football's crazy, man. No matter
Yeah,
what, no
like
matter
we're
how bad you
saying.
think the team is.
Could be anything, man.
Yeah.
Andre Silva says he needs Palmer and Sutton to score 6 points more than Mike Williams. Okay, I think that's possible.
It's doable.
The two players you
Surtain
got,
on
that's good.
Williams. Yeah, Surtain on Williams helps you. Who'd you start at your quarterback in the listener league this week?
Geno Smith. So I was telling you, he bent me over because
His
I
worst
mean,
game of the
technically,
season
DK.
specifically.
There was a touchdown came off of DK's hands,
Mhm.
and then Lockett, I think, almost had a touchdown too.
Yeah, it was almost a in the pocket one like he had 2 last week.
Yeah, but Geno, man, I have three combined touchdowns from my quarterback position through 6 games this year.
Jesus Christ.
I drafted Russell Wilson, traded him away, picked up Tua. He got concussed twice.
Mm.
Had Jared Goff in his down week. Had Geno Smith in his down week. Yeah, it's been really rough. But Tua
Well,
could be back
Tua
this
should be
week.
back next week. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's good.
I get DeAndre Swift back, hopefully from the injury.
That's big. That's huge.
I got Jalen Waddle. I was able to trade some scraps for Darnell Mooney, who who got 12 targets.
Yeah.
So if the Bears can kind of improve a little bit, I think that Mooney could be a decent like flex play.
Finally, Fields threw it 27 times. Finally, like he's been thrown
Yeah.
10 times, 12 times, 15 times. Like
Yeah.
they still lost the game, but at least he fucking.
Well,
was
you know,
doing
I
something.
started to see why they were doing it. Did you watch that offensive line? It got absolutely murdered by
Really?
Washington. Yeah. I mean, there were so many hits on Justin Fields where his lineman basically scraped his body with a shovel off the ground to like pick him up.
That's
Like
rough.
that's how bad like Fields was getting pummeled last week. G yes, Smith. He was G no for me this week.
You changed it to G hell no.
Yeah.
He really sting you, man.
Yeah, he did.
At least he got
You
greedy
are
for the
having a
35
really
rushing
hard
yards.
time at the quarterback position, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Eckler,
man. Yeah,
Eckler, woo!
Eckler.
10 more yards.
Telling Donnie, man, 3 combined touchdowns out of the quarterback position in 6 games.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
You're netting half a touchdown half a passing touchdown per game
Yeah.
in 6 weeks. Some people play 2 a week too, and they got that whole amount in one game.
Uh-oh.
Right. Big sack here on
It looked
Herbert.
like a forward pass. Yeah, I think they're calling a...
Oh, we got
Forward
that field goal. We didn't even celebrate.
Oh.
The field goal for McManus, baby.
Donnie, how you feeling about our Seahawks? I love Andre
You know-
Silva's name here. It's so sophisticated. Like, look at his avatar there. He's smelling
it.
the wine. He's
Oh,
there.
You got to smell it, man.
He's got the
I'm
Still
feeling,
the sommelier.
Silva.
ask me 1 week. I'm hoping that we lose and get a top 10 pick. Ask me the next week, and I'm hoping we're tied.
I
for
honestly,
the
there's-
lead in our division. You know,
I will tell you right now, they're the only one in the division I have confidence in. Outside, I mean,
We
San
love-
Francisco usually gets right, and they've
Yeah.
beaten you in the first matchup, so that's why I'd kind of give them the edge. They have the
San Francisco lost by 2 scores to Atlanta this week. What the heck? I'm with you,
yeah,
Travis.
rough,
I think you get it
man.
right. They're who is this Kyle Shanahan Garoppolo team?
who is the NFC West.
yeah,
Like
that's
that's what I'm talking about. Like you can't tell me one team that is who they've showed us, and I think Seattle's the most consistent.
I mean,
and that's
we were great
crazy.
offensively for 5 weeks, and then we weren't great offensively one game. Then our defense looked like a defense for the first time this year. So
Yeah.
it's going to be. I think it's going to be like this. It's going to come down to the last 2 weeks of the season for the NFC West.
Dude, I'll tell you
For
what
all
though, on
4
the
teams.
Seahawks on this, I can't. Here they are.
Uh-oh.
Goosebumps.
Muff that. Ooh, his legs are crisscross applesauce right now.
Ken Walker looks like one of the very few running backs in the NFL who can legitimately do his own work. I watched him juke defenders and not get touched. I watched him get out of tackles that they had
Did
him
you see
wrapped
that,
up.
The outside run to the right side where he literally broke 4 or 5 tackles. Oh my God, it looks fantastic.
I recorded the screen of that and sent it to our league of record.
I love
That play
it.
was crazy. And we didn't even actually see his first 2 runs. We had like 50 yards and 2 carries, and he had this crazy juke move. Like, he looks to me like one of the best runners in the NFL.
Yeah, I loved him and Hall coming out. I do a lot of work on the NFL draft, and I compared them to, but it was kind of like comparing, apples to oranges. You love both, but they're extremely different. Hall, to me, coming out of college, was the zone running back. One cut, he's going to burn you down the fucking field and score a touchdown. He's so good talent. He's like Jonathan Taylor to me coming out of college. And then watching Ken Walker, he is he looks like a little bit bigger Darren Sproles and faster. Like, to me, the way he runs is little, like, he's not nearly as
Good
small
comp.
as Sproles, but yeah, he looks
Bigger and faster Sproles. Yes.
100%.
I love that comp.
Very similar running style, and I just love both those running backs coming out, and I love seeing them hit in fantasy football so far. With Walker coming because of Penny's injury, but
I bring
they
it
look
Walker up
fantastic.
in spot because when you've got an element shifter like a running back who's good enough to like do special things, all of a sudden you find your offense in that nothing's working, and then he's the one who breaks a play, changes the momentum. The defense now has to go into different formations. This opens up the path for Geno to make a couple of throws. DK makes a big play, and then you won the game. It's like that little like element of chaos you get to you throw it in there. And I think the Seahawks, you might need to tighten it up a little bit on defense, and Geno's going to have to perform near his top levels. But like, you could really make an impact in this season and into the playoffs as well. Like,
I like it. I do want to add on to Andre. He said Woolen rookie of the year for defense. I agree. The Avatar, every time he gets a pick, Big Travie texts me or I text him right away. Avatar. He has 4 picks in the last 4 games. 6'4", 201 pounds, 4.26 speed. He worked with
he's got
Sherman in the
I was going to
offseason.
say he's got the Sherman archetype up there in
He's
Seattle.
Doing so good. And then number 8, Kobe Bryant in the slot. He has the most forced fumbles in the whole entire league at nickelback. He has 4 forced fumbles in the season. We have 5 rookies that are doing so far. So it's, NFC West, it's doable.
it's kind of a fun time to be a Seahawks fan with all those picks you just got, and now we're all watching Russell Wilson right now not be awesome.
Is this
How
Boone?
fun is that?
No, Latavius Murray on the negative. Negative. Oh, well, if he keeps doing that, maybe they'll bring in Boone, hopefully.
Yeah. We need 2 receptions by Boone. Get out of there, Latavius. Go back to the Saints.
It's just Boone's done now.
Boone's relegated to the bench, dude.
Easy come, easy go.
I spent 44% of my fab in my 20-man dynasty league for Boone. Because you're fighting for scraps in 20.
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's an interesting study on WOB spending in dynasty. Like I'll just throw. I don't even give a fuck. I'm like, 67. Let's go. Because it's like how many times do you end the year with over 67 WOB?
Yeah, 100%.
Me never.
In this league,
never, ever.
You're out. From what I've heard, it's gone fast.
Yeah.
For me, last year, I mean, we have 1,000 WOB, which is the same thing. It's 100, really. But they use 1,000.
There's an extra 0.
Yeah, exactly. And I had 850 left over last season. I'm like, I'm not doing that again this season. If I see something okay I'm putting.
You see something, say something.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I like it.
Only you can prevent terrorism.
No more. Boys will be boys. Remember those old NFL commercials like Eli Manning? The Dulcich with the hair.
No more.
No more.
I like those old school fantasy football commercials.
Old Greg.
I'm old Greg. Where's our early 2000s random humor?
Oh, a little face mask. You can call that, dude.
God.
Broke his neck, dude.
That is number 25 ref. Come on, man.
Hey, it's your boy. Look at that.
Look at that hair, dude. I love it.
He's like if Kenny G was fucking stacked.
Yeah, dude.
Love it.
I was watching
who is that? Is that Hamler?
That's Hamler. I think.
12. That's negative. We're gonna need more than that. I don't know if that was Hamler.
I don't think it was.
I think Hamler's 1, isn't he? Washington. Yeah, get out of here.
So I was watching the Great British Baking Show. I've watched the show for a long time and I love it. I'm hungry all the time when I watch it. But one of the hosts of the show, I was like, that guy looks fucking familiar. He's motherfucking Old Greg.
Oh, the guy who played Old Greg?
He is Old Greg from the YouTube
British Baking Show. That checked out.
Dude, it was hilarious.
Oh, no, Hamler. That's the wrong way, dude. They literally ran the same play on the other side. He just did the old R2 flip play.
Old R2 flip. They got.
Oh, yeah, dude.
He just flipped the play, dude.
Yeah. Hot route, flip route.
Yeah.
This is a great play by the corner, too, but still.
J.C. Jackson, is that who it was?
I don't know. It was number 1. Oh, number 3.
Dude, I have.
Corner. Oh, Callahan.
Bro, I have wanted to buy the cheaper Xbox that just does the streaming and just get the homies on Madden franchise mode and just to get
dude,
those.
I'm down with you.
Dude, I do that.
All I do is Madden franchise, dude. I've played years and years of franchises with my buddy.
You can do 1 week, make the whole week.
I got the itch the other day. Oh no, Judy.
Uh-oh.
What did we have? Receptions. Okay,
it's a reception, so that's 1.
That's fine.
I love Madden.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Game now, but
like Madden, I was like, man, it would just be kind of fun to fuck around and play some Madden. Build a franchise, especially when your fantasy goes to shit that day, or the Packers lose by 2 scores to the Jets.
When
I get on here and just throw up 7 touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers today.
I'm
gonna go draft a whole other team.
I'm getting on at 4 instead of 3:30, and I said I'm gonna go play video games for 30 more minutes. Then I went to play Madden on my franchise. That's 100% what I did.
Going deep.
Oh,
to Greggy Dulcich.
You start Dulcich in the chat.
I hope you started Dulcich, my guy. As we said, Greg Dulcich was the piece that this offense needed.
Oh, we should have hit that over, man.
Dude, I was a little bit desperate in.
We didn't hit the under though, right?
Dynasty League, Austin.
Yeah.
And I almost started Hayden Hurst at the flex. If I'd have known Dulcich was going to be off the IR, I wouldn't have started him. But this is awesome to see.
Yes. I think I have him in my 20-man dynasty league, actually.
Dude, I did well. I had 0 tight ends going into this year. I have Mark Andrews, Greg Dulcich, and Hayden Hurst now. Feeling good about the depth of the tight end position.
Hey, Russell Wilson off to a decent first quarter here. Touchdown pass, first quarter. 2 good throws.
Yards too, right? We went the over for yards plus 42 and a
That's
half.
right. We took the yards on Russell over Justin Herbert. He got like that 42 or something bump, 42-yard bump.
We took the extra points though on Hopkins versus McManus. So we need
2 more.
Yeah.
Touchdowns.
What up, Ron?
Ronald, what's going on, buddy? He's got to be happy his Phillies advanced to the NLCS against the Dodgers. Got knocked off by the Padres, man. Dude, I knew it was bad. So shout out to my partner, Cassie. She's a big Dodgers fan. They're talking about the pregame stuff. You know, they get Big Papi on there and Alex Rodriguez, and they're going in on the Dodgers, and they just keep dogging the Padres. This is before game one. They're just like, oh, you know, I think Big Papi was like, oh, you know, the Dodgers are the Padres' daddy. And I was just like, oh, man, it's not going to be good. This is never good when you do this kind of stuff.
Sports,
like,
man.
How do they slay this giant that is the Dodgers? And I'm just like, oh, God. It's you got to give them some respect, dude. Like, first of all, they spent a bunch of money. The Padres aren't like short money-wise. Yeah,
Machado a couple years ago, and then picked up Juan Soto in the middle of the year this year.
And the pitcher they got from Tampa Bay, that's their ace or whatever. So yeah, I that was but I was just like, come on, man.
I know nothing about
wasn't a good
baseball,
show.
So I'm just gonna drink my coffee and listen.
Like that pumpkin mug.
It's some spooky seasons.
And then my my shirt too. You see it?
No, that's kind of cool. It's like a Warren Lotus shirt.
Oh, they're driving the Scooby
van. Yeah.
The mystery machine.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Look at these freaky people back here.
I like
What are their names?
Oscar
Stuart
and Charlie.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Stuart.
Oscar and Charlie.
Stuart and Dan.
Yeah, that's their middle names.
Exactly.
Look at this cool picture of Russell Wilson.
He's so cool, dude. Let him cook. Tonight, 10 for 10. I mean, he's had like 3 screens behind the line of scrimmage, but yeah. 10 for 10, dude. He is cooking.
Let him cook, brah. $250 million man for a reason.
Let's see. I mean, I was saying in our League of Record chat with Hannon, like, Russell Wilson is cooked. I'm like, I can't call it. It's still a new team with a way underprepared head coach. And Aaron Rodgers, 2-time MVP right now, he's had a bad game one the last 2 years in dramatic fashion. So I'm like, okay, game one is game one. And then he tears his shoulder, week 3 or whatever. So it's like, I can't say that he's like done. There are variables that I think are fair. It's fun to dunk on him, but it's not out of this world if Russell Wilson does turn it around. This is a guy who's been a top 10 quarterback like a lot.
100%.
Josh Kelly needs to get out of the game here, dude. Stealing our Eckler stuff.
I was saying a couple of weeks ago with you guys, he's historically bad 1/2 of every year in fantasy football. Whether he's winning or not, it's either the first half of the season he sucks, then he goes off, or he goes off and then he sucks. So I was telling people to hold on to him, because if that trend continues, he's going to win you possibly your championship.
Seth coming in. Should I trade Keenan Allen, James Conner, Rashad Bateman for DeAndre Hopkins? Aaron joined the IR, possibly AJ Dillon.
No, dude, don't say that. I hope not. Oh, Eckler. A little 8-yarder.
Let's go. Should I trade Keenan Allen, Conner, Bateman
I
for
don't
Hopkins?
know that I love this deal.
But don't you like
I don't.
Injuries.
Yeah, the thing is I think you've now
Everything
rostered
about
Keenan.
gross.
Yes.
Everything here is gross.
on all sides. You've rostered Keenan Allen and Connor and Bateman for the majority of their injuries. So now you're going to trade them right before potentially, like Bateman, they said today is probably close to a return. Keenan Allen said he didn't get activated tonight because he plans to play next week. And
if you're getting Hopkins. Hopkins is kind of the same. And he's the best of all those guys.
Yes,
presumably.
for sure. Well, I think if we got a healthy Aaron Jones, I think Aaron Jones is probably the best.
Well, I mean, that's on the same side.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I kind of like the D-Hop side. I mean, more talking through it. As long as Aaron Jones, like you got to do a little more research on Aaron Jones. Let the week play out.
You get Dylan also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
I think I like it. I'm just a little under enthused on Rashad Bateman. He started off crazy hot, but he never broke 65% snap share. He looks like you want him to score touchdowns. I don't know how often he's going to be able to get it done outside of that. Outside of Mark Andrews, it's been inconsistent generally speaking. Connor, I'm not surprised if he doesn't. If he's kind of fizzled
Connor's
out.
the part of this that's like just
Keenan Allen is the best, but I'm still taking Hopkins over Keenan Allen with everything.
Yes.
I would take Hopkins over Allen for sure.
Mhm.
But overall,
Yeah,
it does scare me.
Bateman's one of the hope. The hope with Bateman is talent.
I get it.
He'll rise above there. Yeah, his profile is really good. I don't know why they were using him as part-time guy, but maybe he was dinged up, and that's where he's at now. But like I get the argument about like Mark Andrews being the focal point, but we've seen Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown live in this offense, in the same offense.
It's true.
So if Bateman gets back and healthy, I think he's going to be a late season guy that could be good. But I'm with you. I mean, all the warnings, all the warning signs are there. I like the Hopkins, Aaron Jones side of this deal,
Me too.
I think I do
Me
too.
too.
especially with the Dillon insurance.
What's with the Ravens not being able to close out games? Isn't it like 4 games in like this season where they're like
Pretty much
up a
every
lot
game
in the
they've been
fourth
in.
quarter, and then they just like lose it?
Dude, speaking of losing, I lost my undefeated record in the You Gon' Learn Today league because Saquon slid on that play where he could have scored and he slid so they could win the game. He pulled the Todd Gurley heads up football play. That's all right.
Did Todd Gurley go in the end zone? It was
did,
Brian
yeah.
Westbrook.
Matt Ryan said, "Kneel down, don't score a touchdown," and they went in touchdown.
No, not the Todd Gurley Falcons one.
Oh,
The Todd Gurley Rams one.
okay.
Yeah, I
He pulled
remember
the Brian
he did that.
Westbrook.
Yeah.
That was like the original of that. Those were the earliest one I can remember, right? With the Eagles back in the day. Do you remember that one? It was like a huge touchdown run. It was like the first time I had remembered seeing that. Like, he's gone. And then he stopped. And I heard some stories from some high stakes money leagues where, like, it shifted 6-figure payouts. One of those are just like, wow, how fun.
It's a smart
So you
football
have
play.
Saquon.
It's not a smart fantasy football play.
Yeah.
Wait, so Seth's just looking to confirm here. So I'm sending it. Should I trade Keenan Allen, Connor Bateman for Hopkins, Aaron Jones, and Dillon? If you're getting DeAndre Hopkins, Aaron
We like
Jones,
the
and
deal
Aiden,
for you.
we like the deal. We think that whoever gets those 3 comes out ahead. And then you get the empty roster spot, which we always got to highlight the value having an available roster spot on your squad.
Well,
brings.
how do you? It's 3 for 3.
Oh, he said Keenan Allen. Sounds like 2 words for me.
What's the phonetically you were looking at?
Yeah, something like that. Phonetically, numerically,
Chronologically,
stupidly. Yeah,
nymphomaniacally.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Talking about people.
I was gonna go necro, and then I was like, let's just. Stop.
Oh yeah,
I thought I had the same.
necromancing, meaning bringing him back from the dead.
Here we go. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, spooky season. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's funny.
Justin Herbert.
Getting those rushing yards.
Yeah, we
At
didn't
least
see-
3 of them.
Don't want to be touched.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I love the hands. What? Throw the flag. Throw the flag. Bullshit.
Not Tom Brady.
I love it. I just got a text from Chris Hannon. Oh, I was going to pick up Dulcich today, too. I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, right, dude. You're going to pick up Dulcich? You're going to pick up a rookie tight end in a 3 tight end rotation? 4 tight end, actually, if we talk about the guy they threw 1 to tonight.
Tomlinson.
We've got Beck, Tomlinson, Salbert, Albert Okwuegbunam,
And
and
Dulcich.
Greg Dulcich. We got 5
Yep.
tight ends that they use in Denver.
With a
Beck
torn shoulder,
Remember
Russell
what,
Wilson.
like, they're like Russell Wilson coming to Denver. He's got wide receivers like Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler.
Ever had.
What an arsenal! He now completed a pass to Beck, Tomlinson, Salbert.
Backup
Everybody
tight end.
not named the wide receiver. Actually, I don't think Sutton's got a pass yet tonight.
He did, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
1 for 9 yards.
Okay. Oh, Big Mike dropped it, baby. You love to see it for the slip. And because maybe you traded him away in a league. You just want to see those players do poorly.
Speaking of a guy you traded away, Travis, I'm talking in league of record, Allen Robinson. It's going to be a really interesting name after you talked before about the red zone targets he's got, right on pace with Kupp. Outscored Kupp for the first time. Wasn't an awesome game, but 5 catches, 60 yards, and a tutty.
Something like almost that. Had another one too. In another opportunity he didn't cash in on. Yeah, it was a good game.
Solid. Allen Robinson. What do you think people with Allen Robinson should do?
Well, I think I'm going to maintain. I think you asked me this 2 weeks ago. We had another bad game and then this good game, right? So I'm maintaining that he's a hold because I trust in McVay and I trust in them to get this right. And eventually they're going into the bye. So we're going to now have another. The last game they put on film was Robinson doing well when they went to him. They got a touchdown in the end zone. They've got a bye week to hopefully coach up this line. I don't think it's going to get markedly better, but maybe it gets a little bit better. And we've seen that with lines, right? Sometimes it takes mid-season, it takes 7-8 weeks for a line to get cohesive. I'm not saying that. I'm not predicting that. This is a nice play by Everett.
Great catch.
But I'm saying that it's possible with an offensive line that it can turn it around. And that being said, I think that I trust in the offense a little bit more. And honestly, I think a Van Jefferson return from the IR could be good for this team.
Oh, nice.
Because
that coming up?
Yeah, they said that after the bye, they think that he should be ready. Well, so they're going to get him back.
Skronek? How do you say his last name?
Yeah, Skoronek.
Skoronek. Him, Robinson, and Kupp all had over 16 points in full point PPR this week. So,
yeah, and they're not going to get the Carolina Panthers every week, but yeah. I will say that that I like what they're putting together through adversity. They're showing some grit to go back to what they're good at. And I trust McVay. I just trust him to use the tools he's got to maximize it. And right now, I had maybe gotten close to saying that Allen Robinson is a tool they can use, saying that's not going to happen. But this last week, all we have is the latest, and the latest shows that they still want to get. I mean, they paid him a good amount of money. I don't think that they're going to stop trying to get him going.
Who's better than Allen Robinson on their team right now? I don't think so.
Nobody. I mean, besides Cooper Kupp. But I think because of the necessity of the offense, Tyler Higbee was getting more love, because they had to dump it down to him. But there's a lot of things at play here. Remember that Stafford didn't take any live reps in the offseason with Robinson because of the elbow, right? They were trying to, ease him back in. So there's all sorts of things at play. The bye week, we've seen this before. New teams, bye week, they got time to really go back to the drawing board and implement some things. So he's a hold for me, especially like Austin. I thought it was a great pickup. I was between him and James Cook. I mean, both guys I drafted going back to the well on at that 2 p.m. time frame. But because Zach Moss was a late inactive, I went with Cook just to kind of see how that would play out.
In Whisper Nation, Travis talking about having an empty roster spot on his team, and right before the games kick off, using that empty roster spot to pick up somebody who might have sneaky value, or if something happens to, say, Devin Singletary, James Cook would then have a lot of value. I thought that was a clever one. I thought that was a really wise.
I was actually tempted to play him because you had a really good run at the end of the morning games on me. And I was playing against Austin in our league record. And I thought, wow, does James Cook have more upside in a game where Zach Moss is out and they're going to have to throw more? Does he have more upside than CEH? And I landed on CEH has more upside just because I've seen him score touchdowns in this offense. I've seen it already. And it was the right play, but didn't matter. But I think the Allen Robinson pickup by you, Austin, was a good one. And I think he would be a hold for me if I was on your roster through the bye here. But I understand, you've got bye weeks probably coming up, so maybe that's not what you can do. But I put him in a category like with some of these other guys we're going to talk about on waivers, Tyquan Thornton, or who's another one we're going to talk about? Like, I honestly Eckler.
A score?
Yeah.
Wow.
Eckler tutty.
Yeah, it's a shout. Wow.
He just rode his. Yeah, and we want that for the extra point. Now they're even.
George Cook here. Question: if I'm stacked at running back, do I trade AJ Brown and Sanders for Devontae Adams?
I wouldn't do that deal.
No.
I don't think so.
Great. And Sanders is
How much better is
Sanders
Adams?
Sanders is
expectations.
Sanders' ROI right now is one of the best in the league. Jacobs is probably better, I think, right now than his because he's like a full workhorse. But I think he's right in that category of like guys that are returning your investment based on where you draft him.
And we get an extra point.
And that's the kind of stuff that wins fucking leagues. People aren't getting that. Like what? Why did Deebo Samuel win people leagues? Why did Cooper Kupp win people leagues last year? Where did you get him? Where did you draft him? So what was the roster you got to build around those awesome pieces? Because everybody can have awesome pieces, especially if you draft them in the first and second round. But if it's when you get the league winners in rounds 5 through 10, that's when you're really messing with it.
More information
Barkley,
from George.
Swift, Kenneth Walker, and Dameon Pierce. So can you get anything else on the bring back with Devontae? I will say Darren Waller going to be out. We know Devontae's going to get fed. He continues to get fed. It's probably PPR. I'm imagining. I will say AJ Brown going to be a little bit more volatile than we thought. I think with that offense, they're just kind of doing they're doing what they have to do to win games, and he'll have good games. But yeah.
This is one of those things where, like, who's the best player in the AJ Brown, Sanders, Devontae? It's still Devontae Adams, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's still Devontae. So you're getting the best player in the deal, and you are stacked at running back.
But
I'm with Travis. So you need more back. Can you get some Wob in return?
Yeah, or even an upshot like does he have Bateman? Like taking a Bateman back, so like something you stash for later on. Because my thing with this is it's not just about having that RB depth. But I think about you, Austin, in our league of record right now. You have the RB depth, but I wouldn't be in a hurry if I were you to trade ETN away either. Because not only are you have all this depth, that's great, a rainy day, you are keeping usable running backs from the people you play against.
That's a good point.
And that is what you need. We need to be focusing on that as well. You can't be giving these players away to people that can then end up beating you. That's the one thing of go ahead.
I was going to ask what George's record is right now, because it's another one. Like, if you're not in a position to have to make moves, like, just let attrition do its thing. But, unfortunately, it will eventually happen to your squad. You keep playing long enough, so you're going to want to have those extra pieces. But it's going to happen to other people's squads as well, which could drive up the price if you end up having more viable, healthy running backs.
Yeah, so you're 3-3. I like where you're at. I think that's fine. If you were a little bit. Go ahead.
I was interrupting real fast because of this commercial right now. That guy sitting on the stands is my buddy Eddie. I met him in
cool.
Pasadena. Yeah.
Like
nice.
The Carfax commercial?
The Carfax commercial. The guy sitting on the bleachers. He's the Fox, yeah.
Yeah. He's got the Fox suit on. That's awesome. That's cool. I like your receivers. We get Higgins healthy. They're not great. But Higgins actually went back out there and produced. Like, not great, but he got done there to play. I know. I wish they would arrest him. I got him in so many leagues, but
one of my most exciting drafts this year was Higgins. I had Higgins.
Typo? Are you calling us gay? Oh,
compliment.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah.
Man, you're funny.
Hilarious.
Disparage a bunch of people.
Yeah, one of my most excited leagues, I had Robinson, Renfro, and Higgins. And I was so excited for this league. I was like, I got them in the perfect position. And it's volatile. That's the league I was 1-4 in this week. It's just been rough.
Renfro's an interesting one. I picked him up in our league of record ahead off of his bye because Waller got hurt and left that game. And if Waller's out, I kind of like Renfro to soak up a good amount of work.
Definitely.
But to get back to George's thing, yes, I understand your want to trade, especially given what you've got. I wouldn't be I'd be more inclined to trade Higgins as part of that deal. And I love Higgins. And I think Higgins' upside is actually greater than A.J. Brown's. But where Higgins at with the ankle, if you could convince this guy to kind of do Higgins instead, and you keep A.J. Brown, because then you got Devontae Adams and A.J. Brown. And all those running backs. Then you're fucking hard.
I think you got to kind of chill on this. And George coming back around here saying, I guess I just viewed Sanders as more expendable. We're in week 6 right now, and he is, but you want to be able to cover injuries. You want to be able to play matchups. And to Travis's point, it's not a bad thing keeping good players away from your opponents.
And let me be clear, of your running backs, yes, I agree that he's the most expendable. Maybe Dameon Pierce, because you're not buying Houston staying consistent enough.
I hear that.
But
I
I think I'm sticking to the keeping those riches on my team. Get a little bit greedy here.
Outside of best ball,
nice
man,
play.
I get the double dip, but it's more for pleasure than it is production. So take that for what it will be. Hey, you got a fan.
What up, Alex? I don't know which Alex this is, but I appreciate you.
McCurley Wolf, great to see you, boys. Great to see you, McCurley. What do I do with DJ Moore?
You pray that he gets traded to an offense with a good quarterback. That's the best you can hope for right now. If you got to go pick up, if you got to go pick up somebody because you got to do something this week, I understand. But yeah, he's not somebody, especially with. I love that the one that the sleeper post you put in the chat today, Austin, where it was AB.
Oh my God. Antonio Brown. Did you see that one, Donnie? It was like Antonio Brown when he sees
DJ Moore
when he sees Robbie Anderson's antics getting him traded, and it's just the video of Antonio Brown taking off his clothes, doing all this weird stuff.
I would be fighting for a trade if I was DJ Moore for sure. He's way too talented to be on that shitty fucking offense.
Yeah. I used to work with Alex over at CIS. Come on, bro. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you, man.
Hard to trade in leagues where people overvalue the fuck out of their players, ain't it?
Yeah, welcome to every league ever.
I feel it.
But what if he does this, man?
Yeah.
Well,
what I like doing now is it's kind of a troll. I need to check it sometimes because you can get a little toxic. But I've put out trades to Tucker and Brett Johnson. Love them in our league. And then so I put out trade offers for Javonte Williams. And then the week, he blows his knee out. And, I was like, Tucker, you should have traded me Javonte Williams. I could plant these little seeds of you should have done these deals. I'm giving you deals. You win every time. Today, I had put out offers for Marquise Brown. This isn't really fair because I put out offers all day, every day. But Brett Johnson's like, I should have traded you Marquise Brown. I'm like, yeah, well, hopefully that it's some ammunition when you go back to the negotiating table. But
I love trading with you, Travi.
Yeah, it's worked out well for you in our listener league.
Well for me in the listener league, for sure.
This is the stuff here. This sucks, George. I'm sorry. Someone told me Brown and Sanders' numbers are in the gutters. If you're dealing with somebody who is emotionally deflated despite the facts, and they're trying to poo-poo somebody who's balling or just doesn't get it, sorry.
Yeah. It's hard too, though, because when you go to sell someone, I've been trying to sell CH. I'm going to stop now, I think, for the rest of the year. Just take CH. But I've been trying to sell CH. I got some hauls in some other leagues, but in our league of record, and I'm telling,
You acquired CEH in our league of record.
Yes, I went out and got him for Allen Robinson and Gabe Davis in the middle of Gimp Davis's ankle injury. But regardless, Brett Johnson and I are talking, and he's like, I'm trying to get CH, Jeff Wilson, and another player to him for Joe Mixon. And, of course, he's not biting. And he's like, Joe Mixon's ceiling is better. And I'm like, well, this year, 2 games, CH has had a higher ceiling than Joe Mixon. So, and the highest point out of both of them. So, technically not. But that's what you're dealing with. And in that case, he's right to not get rid of Mixon, obviously. But this is the kind of games you have to play.
It doesn't look like this. See, it does have a higher ceiling.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts over feelings. Suck it down.
Yeah. Johnny would like to quote the Jay-Z line, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yeah, but people lie using numbers.
Stat manipulation. Yes, exactly.
That's true.
Prayer yards.
It hurts a lot of people in the NFL in fantasy football that drafted Jonathan Taylor. I'm thinking of trade values, right? Nobody's trading Jonathan Taylor right now because of draft capital. At least in the leagues I'm in, I've sent decent trade offers for Jonathan Taylor, and everyone just shuts me down right away. It's so hard to see Deion Jackson play one game and get 10 targets, where the most targets JT has seen this year was 7, I think. I know Hines got 2, I think, but
the problem was with that game this week is they threw so much.
I
think that Matt Ryan had 37 passing attempts at half.
Wow.
Did he really?
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
it's
75?
It's like, remember the Jets' first 2 weeks, and we're like, oh, but Elijah Moore's getting 10 targets. Oh, Garrett Wilson's getting 10 targets. Oh, the backs are getting 10 targets each. Remember, like week 2, it was like Breece Hall had like 10 targets. You're like, what the fuck? But that's what they were throwing like at a league, like historic rate, through 2 games. So like that's kind of the stuff with the numbers sometimes where you're like, like that's not going to be the same or even close. Probably.
As a JT owner, I feel like they're not even going to trade him even more now. Seeing what Deion Jackson did, they're like, that's going to be Deion Jackson times 2 when he's back.
Yeah.
So
I always crack up a little bit when people are like, man, I sent all these offers and they kept saying no. Like, what up, dude? I'm sending you really good offers. It's like you're trying to get rid of these people to get their person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was trying to move CH. I was trying to move CH plus for like Najee before this week, and it's like, okay, like I don't love this even for me, and I feel like he probably doesn't love it, and he didn't do the deal. But then he's like trying to be like, oh, well, CH is in a timeshare. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not. But like, is Najee Harris good? Is he good at football? I don't know. Like, is he also in a timeshare now? Jalen Warren's been getting like passing down work. Is this offense something you want to be invested in? And then I'm like starting to talk myself out of the deal I offered because I'm like trying to give ammunition to like this counterpoint. I'm like trying to do the work here. I'm like, okay.
I just hate when you offer
CH
trades.
To me, I think I'm just kind of working through my own therapeutic stuff here. I think that CH for me is just somebody that I'm just going to have to stick in the flex pretty much every week and hope he scores a touchdown. And he's like a boomer bust RB2, 3 flex guy, like it's like, okay, well.
Big play here.
Oh, he dropped it, dude. Palmer.
Maybe PI though.
Oh,
Curly Wolf clarifying here.
Personally, before we get to this question, when I send trades, I either want you to accept it or counter it or decline it. I don't want you to give me a paragraph of why you think my offer was so shitty compared to your players.
Man. I've been getting that a lot this year. My God, dude.
Just counter it or decline it. I don't need to hear your bullshit.
Dude, so Austin's been really good though lately. We've had multiple trades in the last 3 years where Austin's just been like, looks at it. I imagine him doing that. And he goes, fuck it. And he does it, or
nice.
Yeah, I'm good with that. No. And this last deal that I offered him on Friday, I think it was, and that was part of this CEH, like I'm spamming my league mates with CEH deals, and he was one of them. And I'm like, hey, let's move, I'm like, any one of your running backs right now, I will do this deal for. It's like CEH, Jeff Wilson, and I think Garrett Wilson, and I'll do all 3 of these for any one of your running backs. And he's got Kamara, ETN, Breece Hall. Who's the fourth one? Ken Walker. So I'm like, I'll literally take any one of those for this package. Like I'm trying to consolidate with guys. I don't want to make these decisions and then feel like I fucked up, when I'm clawing for wins. Just give me guys I can set and forget and try and make a run. And he's like, who would I drop? That's the most interaction we've had. And I was like trying to look at that. And, we ended up like not doing a deal, but it was like, I don't need you to tell me that these guys suck. Like, I know that they suck. Exactly. And I don't need you to tell me that your guys have up arrows. I obviously am coming to you for a trade. Like, that was the one that's frustrating with Najee Harris deal with Tucker is because it's like, you're trying to tell me, volume's king. I'm like, he's not even getting volume anymore. So, like, dude, don't talk to me about this. I look at these numbers all day. Don't try to tell me that he's better than he is. I know he's not, Yeah, that's like our guys in our league are doing that all the time. They're like, oh, why would I do that? This guy like, just blah, blah. I don't need you to fucking just trash my team, dude. Just tell me yes or no.
Was Johnny on the deal when we were talking about, he came to me for a trade offer and then I made a counter offer. And then he went to break down why my counter offer was such dog shit. I'm like, you came to me And then anyways, with just the over explanation on those ones here. Let's answer McCurley Wolf's question here.
Yeah,
Robbie
sorry
trade
about
makes DJ deal, love it, a lot more less likely. So cut, right? Robbie trade makes a DJ deal a lot more less likely. I don't know.
Well, I don't
Maybe
know that it
will.
does. I actually think, I was talking to this when Austin took a bathroom break just a little bit ago. I think that if the Panthers should keep, because I actually thought of this because of you, Austin, because James Cook isn't going to put people in the seats, is what you said, right? But CMC is. DJ Moore isn't putting people in your seats.
Yeah.
He's a good player, though.
Tell him some
really good player. Keep CMC because you're not going to get the deal you want that feels good. Trade DJ Moore. You'll get some value for that. Another team, you help another team. Like the Packers should be going for DJ Moore. Like we got to trade something for DJ Moore.
That'd be awesome.
We're going to go all out on OBJ. We better fucking decide, and it better be one of them or both.
So happy the Packers got it.
Both would be sexy.
So, because they like, especially with Cobb getting hurt, like if you went and got DJ Moore right now and then got OBJ later, because like when he comes back, that is exactly the kind of dynamic. And then it's like Watson and Dubs can progress at their own speed, and you got Lazard to be the kind of possession guy. Anyways, I'm going to live in a hypothetical that'll never happen because Green Bay will never trade. But I do think that there is a world where Robbie gets dealt, and I think holding him. It just depends on who you're going to cut DJ Moore for, Mr. Curly Wolf. Like what's available on your waivers. So I'll ask you this, Austin. DJ Moore or Allen Robinson? Are you buying this little bit of a resurgence out of Allen Robinson? Or are we doomed to be like pissed and excited about Allen Robinson and never start him on the right week?
If you're asking me about those two players right now, I'm getting a little thirsty just for the upside of the DJ Moore switch, because it's like it could go, what if he goes to the Packers and he becomes the number one on a really good offense? Because I don't really have a problem letting my mind go into those tempting places, because like really what is the ceiling of Robbie Anderson? Like I think of like in a realistic world, Robbie Anderson becomes a nice wide receiver too. And that's pretty damn good. Like that's pretty damn good. Imagine if Robbie Anderson was the number 15 overall wide receiver. Like that's freaking good.
You mean DJ Moore or?
No, I mean, no, I'm sorry, Robbie.
Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson. Yeah. Okay.
Allen Robinson, like I think at his max ceiling would say like he's a wide receiver too. But like
Allen Robinson does kind of
DJ
sound
Moore,
like Robbie Anderson. I was like, damn, you could really mix this up. Anyway, sorry. They're like the same people. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I would just go for the potential upside of a DJ Moore, but the floor right now of Allen Robinson is a little bit higher, I think, after this good game.
Exactly what I would have said. Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, swing for it. So that's kind of where we're at.
Rank these wide receivers, rest of season: Waddle, Higgins, D-Hop, and Sutton.
That's
I think that if you, for me, this is me personally, because I'm a little bit biased towards Sutton. I would put Sutton ahead of D-Hop, but I think there is a world where they could like that could flop. But then it's in that right order for me. I think Waddle, then Higgins, then Sutton, then D-Hop.
I am very opposite. I'm going D-Hop.
At the top of this?
Especially, yeah, he would have maybe been top even with Marquise Brown not injured. He's going to be peppered with targets when he gets back. Murray is going to be like, thank God you're fucking back, bro. Take this.
Yeah.
He's throwing to him all day.
Yeah, I would buy that, but the target share wasn't really there last year with Hopkins. He was living off touchdowns. But okay, if you're in on Hopkins,
in it, and then I think
Hopkins is the number one of this bunch.
Hopkins, Waddle,
all right,
for me.
All right,
lock it in.
I'm closer to Travis' side on it. Feeling for me, I got Waddle as the one, and it's real close between Sutton and Higgins for me. I almost am okay with Sutton coming up ahead, and maybe my mind is just going too far. But I'm like, the Bengals they won yesterday, right?
Yeah,
and Chase was the star. And it's the first time he's been fed in a while, and it's the best that they've done. And in my mind, I'm like, this is going to be a correction in where Joe Burrow goes. And it's like, maybe you've always known who your one is, but Chase is now in there. And Higgins' ankle does concern me, the way that the coaching staff is like, we're going to rest him in practice so he's got enough in the game, and he almost could have come back in the game. They're playing a really like risky game to me. Like this has re-aggravation potential. It also reduces your ceiling, and they don't seem to really care about shutting him down, elevating Tyler Boyd and Hurst, and letting Higgins get right. And I'm just concerned this is going to linger for more than a month, maybe season long.
Yeah, we could see that for sure. And I think the re-injury is a big concern. I will point to like some cases where we've seen it. Like I'm looking at Gabe Davis right now. Like that was part of why I traded Gabe Davis away in League of Record, because I was like, man, this ankle could be lingering. And he's basically worked through it.
Sometimes that's the time to go get the guy with the ankle injury.
Yeah, maybe you buy the dip. Like if you can buy low on Higgins, I think it's a good bet, at least on talent. But I like what you said there about them switching more to Chase. What we did at least see out of Chase this week, which we hadn't seen all year, was schemed up touches down the field, because they had been doing this like hitch route, weird fucking flat shit with Chase, screens, and like, dude, like he's going to be fine on a couple of those a game, but that can't be like his focal point. It reminds me, Donnie, of how they were using Allen Robinson in Chicago, where they'd like put, like these little, it was bad. But yeah, I think hopefully, I mean, this is a lot asking Zach Taylor to be logical and like trust in what he saw is a lot. But I think, yeah.
I was a little distracted when you were talking. I heard most of it, but I was looking at our slip. It's not looking good for the kicking because it looked like the punter was. It looked like the punter was practicing field goal kicking.
No, Hopkins is hurt again.
Hopkins hurt. That's
no, dude.
That's what they were showing him warming up.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Of course, dude. Of course, my horse.
George saying that's why I need to trade Sanders. Having to try and choose who to flex between Kenneth, Pierce, and Sanders is a nightmare every week. And Swift is hit or miss. You just ride with the headaches.
I think Swift has been hit or miss because he's been hurt. Yeah, like if he's healthy, especially in any kind of form of PPR, like I think he's going to just absolutely dawn.
Joe Mixon, Jacoby Myers.
For Swift and Amari Cooper, you're giving up Joe Mixon and Jacoby Myers. I like this deal for you.
I'd do it 100%.
I like what I've seen out of Amari Cooper. Like even in this bad game, kind of where he was only catching like 50% or something. Yeah, I think it's good because Amari Cooper is actually Jacoby, but can score touchdowns. So it's like you got a little bit more upside. You know what I mean?
Dude, speaking of upside, man, shout out Zappy, who is just
Zappy Dappy dude.
I wanted to ask that. Like, is he better than Mac Jones? Everyone, I'd say fuck yes, he is. Eyeball test, yes.
I think Mac Jones is a suppressor, just like his dad, Bill Belichick. And I think Zappy is the black sheep of the family who says, fuck it, we're going deep. And he's right. He's the future. He's making the correct call. Get these like weird, chubby, freaking like pear-shaped quarterback and coaches out of the decision-making table and like let the future in. Like, let's go. I am ready for some excitement.
Did you see that? I think it was the punter for the Patriots try to give the game ball to Belichick on the side of the field in the game. And Belichick's like, fuck off, bro. Like, I've won many games before. Go away. It's basically
considering naming the championship trophy after me.
Yeah.
I don't need ball.
You're a fucking ball. In fact, you're off the team now.
Yeah, you're fired.
Don't ever come up to me again. Go get me a water.
Who are you again? Are you special teams?
Dude,
go away.
You have to watch that video, Austin. The way he looks at him was like, why the fuck? And he just immediately hands it to the guy behind him. He's just like, get this fucking out of my
face. Like, how did you get a game ball? Like you were the water engineer.
You're the equipment manager, dude. How do you have a ball?
Well,
that's your job.
Was disgusted, and the guy panicked. And
he's like, I can't have he's like, dude, I can't have the equipment managers give me balls. You know, we had a whole Deflategate scandal. Like, come on, dude.
Maybe,
get
man.
The fuck out of here, dude.
Maybe that's exactly.
Oh, come on, what a duck, dude. So George has an update on this. He says he countered. So he countered Higgins and Sanders for Adams and Burrow and Brown for Brady and Adams. Wait, what?
So what's the total?
No, I want to get
George, can you clarify this one a little bit more? Because I don't know if you have two counters here, because you said you didn't want to give up Higgins because of Burrow. But if it is just Higgins and Sanders for Adams, I'm okay with that.
Same.
Or is it also like, is it Burrow and
But if you have to,
Brown
you want
or Brady and Adams?
Yeah.
Joe
There's
Burrow.
two different deals. So you'd give up AJ Brown and Burrow, and you get Brady and Adams in return, or you give up Higgins and Sanders, and you get Adams back. I like that 2-for-1 better than the other one, and I like that 2-for-1 better than the one we were talking about earlier, where you give up Brown.
Johnny, you were like shaking your head. You don't like the Burrow and Brown for Brady and Adams?
No, I do not want to get rid of Burrow for Brady. Like I think that's too much of a downgrade, and I don't think Adams is a little better than AJ Brown, but I feel like AJ Brown's been one of the more consistent wide receivers. So I think it's too much of a downgrade.
He declined this one and countered with Burrow and Brown for Brady and Adams. So that's the only offer on the table by the other team, is this counter offer. So he wants Burrow and AJ Brown for Brady and Adams, and I don't think I think you're giving up.
Yeah, Burrow finally he had like a 30-point game. And it's just going to be he's going to get better.
I don't know if you're giving up too much. I just think for your roster that we talked about, George, it's kind of a lateral move for me.
Yeah,
like you're just moving AJ Brown to go get Adams, and that's fine. You're going to have games where Adams spikes, but you're going to have really big games out of AJ Brown, and I'd rather have AJ Brown and Adams. And I know that's like, I'd rather have $1 million, but I like literally with your squad, I wouldn't be giving up this depth like we talked about and playing. I wouldn't stop playing keep away just to make a lateral move.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, maybe try. Maybe he likes
about trades, man.
Maybe he likes Pierce more than Sanders. I would do Higgins and Pierce for Adams.
Well, we got a 2-minute. We got a update from My Fantasy Life app. Hopkins is out there to attempt the field goal.
Yeah, he made it.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So we're alive.
We need an extra point.
Woo. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. We'll get him in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys? Would you do Pierce and Higgins for Adams? Maybe that guy likes.
If he'll do that deal, I like getting rid of Pierce ahead of Sanders in general.
Right. Maybe he's like, ooh, those carries. He had 20 plus a couple times. I like him better than Sanders. Try it.
I'm not surprised also to see the way that we saw James Robinson start off so fire, and Dameon Pierce could.
I was just going to ask you, is Dameon Pierce? Well, I thought from the rookie season, is Dameon Pierce actually going to be a guy like James Robinson, where in the rookie season we were like, he's going to fall off. He plays for the Jaguars. Like this is and he just never did, right? He just got all the volume and he produced. Yeah. So I think those are the two kind of range of outcomes for me with Pierce. Like he kind of hits a wall, or he just ends up being so voluminous that like it doesn't matter.
Look at Danks coming in here.
He's
asking
like,
a silly question. Traded Fournette for Jonathan Taylor.
Good trade.
The trophy case. Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a great trade.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, I don't know what this art is, but it looks great.
Well, that's cool too. Eli Sharpie got one get D-Hop and Swift, other gets Tyreek. Who wins?
Ooh, man.
This is a good one.
Yeah. Tyreek's probably the best player in the deal, unless Swift can come back and be. I mean, this is a good one.
That's close.
I'd probably take the D-Hop and Swift deal. I just would, yeah. I think you were
because in your mind you're like Hop could look at it. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins does have a crazy ceiling, and Swift does too. Tyreek is just doing it.
Haha, yep. Judy fell. Good job.
Nice
for the slip.
Yes. 50 seconds here in this tied game, 10-10.
I just like the upside of Pierce and Kenneth, knowing they're 20 touch a game kind of backs. I'd feel like Pierce and Higgins is too much. Yeah, I mean, if you're basically going to get like a 10 to 12 target wide receiver in Devontae, though. Like that's, and even in Higgins' great games where Chase is getting like shadowed or whatever, he's not getting the Devontae Adams kind of volume still. So that would be the argument I would have on that. And Pierce is the one, going deep to Hamler.
Wide open.
Yeah!
Hamler.
Boom, baby. Yes.
For the split.
That is what we fucking banked on, dude. Right there. That's it. Like there is like who was it over? Sutton,
and he got plus 20.
He had already had plus 30 or 40, I think even.
70, 80.
That's got to cool down. Judy's got
another reception for Judy though.
Oh no.
We are going to get maybe a field goal here out of McManus.
And we need that as well.
Yeah, 'cause
Andre, my team is quarterback Brady and Dak, running back Swift, Mixon, Pierce, Dillon, Jamal, wide receivers Waddle, Higgins, D-Hop, Sutton, and Pickens, tight end Pitts. Which should I consider doing?
Brady and
This
Dak.
is a nice team.
Good team, yeah.
Try for a better
Swift,
tight
Mixon,
end
Pierce,
because Pitts
Dillon,
has
and
been doing
Jamal.
nothing.
Waddle, Higgins, D-Hop, Sutton, and Pickens.
I'd actually
Yeah.
say don't go for another tight end. I would say just
No?
stream tight ends and hope that Pitts' upside catches up. Don't go and get rid of pieces.
Would you trade Sutton and Pitts for Mark Andrews?
Cortland Sutton and Pitts for Andrews? Yes, I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could do that, do that.
I would just try
Nice.
things like that, honestly.
First of all, if you have a Mark Andrews owner in your league who's willing to trade Mark Andrews, first of all, just
Do it.
kiss the sky, dude. Just
I just
be
thought it was
grateful
wishful-
that
it's a wishful
owner
from,
actually wants to do
Hunger
that.
Games.
First of all, just focus on gratitude. Yeah. Offer yourself as tribute. Because I just don't see a league where somebody's going to be trading Andrews in.
Yeah.
Or
I
Kelsey.
mean, someone just traded
Yeah,
Jonathan
it's a pretty-
Taylor for Leonard Fournette. So.
Well, that's true. And I want to be in that league next year. Send me an invite.
You get a quarterback upgrade too?
Yeah, but I like Dak coming back here, and I like what I saw. Oh, God, no.
Do we see here? Nope.
Ooh.
I like what I
Actually,
saw.
we do, 'cause I'm going to Judy. Oh,
Out of the
no, but what's the
play clock.
flag? I want more field goals.
Rough in the passer.
Yeah, that's true. We do want a field goal. Yeah, it's probably
Too much danger. Russell Wilson quarterback, 5-yard penalty.
Rough in the passer.
hey.
That ref
you doing
is
anything
swole.
dangerous?
Put him out there in the D line.
All these refs are swole, dude. They're getting so
Jeez.
jacked now.
God.
None of them are natty anymore.
Are they drinking natural lights?
That's not a rough in the passer. He hit his
Steroids.
Yeah. Big natural referees.
Shout out to Ed Hockley's, man. First,
Big
the original of the
first
yoked ref.
swole.
Ed
The first
Cockley.
swole ref.
Yeah.
His son's ref now, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Chelsea's dad who they tiled his house.
Ed Hockley?
There's,
That's cool.
yeah, I said he was an awesome guy.
Real fun guy. Oh, Russ.
Russell Wilson running
we need
around.
the running. We forgot about that. You guys didn't even do the
Field goal.
running.
We'll
Yeah,
take a
just
touchdown
kick it
run or a field goal.
They want to score a touchdown in the red zone so bad, though. They have
Yeah.
been so cold.
What's that guy wearing on his neck? Did you see that?
It's a neck brace.
No,
I'm just
it looked like a I don't know, like a strap around his neck.
Strap on.
Only reserve with Kenneth is I don't know if his play this past week is
not
consistent.
get
It's
rid of
not. It's
Kenneth.
going to be better.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
better.
You
I'd get
need
rid
to
of Sanders
be.
or Pierce over Kenneth.
I'm not concerned about Kenneth Walker at all, dude. I saw someone on Reddit yesterday asking, should I play Kenneth Walker or Eno Benjamin this week? The majority of comments said Eno Benjamin. I was like, that's the wrong answer. That's just-
because of the
I get
Seahawks
it.
defense.
I get the situational, but Kenneth Walker is a good running back. I don't think it's an overreaction. He is one
No.
of the best pure runners in the NFL today.
Guys,
like it.
we were just talking at the start of the show about the disappearing running back in fantasy right now. And we don't have that situation in Seattle.
Mm-mm.
No matter what happens. They would have to trade for CMC for you to not like Kenneth Walker's value going forward. That is where we're at with Kenneth Walker because Rashad Penny is gone. So they're not giving a timeshare. You're going to get some passing down seated to
DJ
whatever,
Dallas didn't do anything.
whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
nothing.
fine. A couple
Maybe
of those
when
passing
Homer
downs
comes
doesn't
back,
mean anything.
He loses a couple
doesn't-
third downs. Yeah,
It doesn't mean anything when you're that good of a runner. And another red zone target for Dulcich, man. If he would have
Wow.
got that,
dropped it
I
though
would
for
be
the
so
slip.
happy.
Get the field goal.
Yeah.
So big question here. This is ones and zeros. Pierce or Kenneth in your lineup?
I'm going Kenneth
I
Walker.
want to do.
I mean,
weekly
most times.
per se. Most
I
times,
yeah, look at
Walker
the
for sure. But I would still look at matchups.
One of these, but I don't think it matters at this point. And the only reason I say that is because one guy's profile as a running back is up here. And the other guy's is is he a guy? Is he a jag or is he just kind of explosive?
Hey, we love Damian Pierce, man. We were
love
way
him
ahead.
very
We had him as a first round in the rookie dynasty draft.
love
We
him
liked
so
him a
much.
lot. And
Yeah.
he is overperforming and he's really good. But Kenneth,
His
he's
profile
still,
is
dude.
different. And all we want in running backs is to get opportunity. That's why we love Pierce so much. He gets opportunity. You know who gets that opportunity as a better running back? Kenneth Walker. That's why Kenneth Walker will start higher in my rankings every week. You're probably going to hear
People are
Week
seen more
10.
consistent.
Week 10, the Seahawks play Tampa Bay.
I thought you were gonna be like,
And then
week 10, Kenneth Walker's got to bye.
No, that too.
Then I would start Dameon
And
Pierce.
then Pierce plays the Giants, who are still a surprising defense. So that I would still think about that.
Yeah, but you were the same one that told me that like the outside running against Tampa Bay can be very and CH
100%.
rattled off 90. CH got 92 yards and a score against Tampa Bay. So it's not impossible. You don't get cute with the matchups on really good fucking dudes. You're not going to go bench. What happens if Kenneth Walker does what he's supposed to do? He'll be a first-round pick next year in redraft leagues, right?
Yep.
Maybe borderline second. You don't fucking bench those guys, no matter what the matchup is.
You let them rise above the moment, like these kind of guys are looking to do.
You go into your matchup and you go, oh, man, I might get a bad week out of Kenneth Walker this week because he's got a tough matchup. You know, like I might get a bad week out of Tyreek Hill because he's going up against Patrick Surtain or, you know, whoever. But I'm still fucking rolling him out there each and every time because the guy could go off for 102 tutties.
I just
Kenneth's got that playability.
As a Seahawks fan, I just wanted to.
Yeah, no. I feel great question, but it's a great way to frame the way we think about priors and how neurotic we get with these matchups. You know, like we get so neurotic about the matchups and this thing. It's like some dudes are just going to get so many opportunities. Honestly, Walker was kind of having a ho-hum day until he started like wearing on the Cardinals defense, and then he rattled off did he score 2 touchdowns?
Nah, dude, his first fucking touch was fire. He started.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying he was like bad. I'm saying that the opportunity of the offense.
Oh yeah, like he had 50 yards fast.
Yeah,
and then the offense didn't pound the rock and he finished out with.
But the point being is that you get so many tries at that it won't matter because you're going to rise above it because you know what I mean. Like you're the guy, and
his play style is one where he can break away. He already did that last week,
right?
Yeah,
when after Penny got hurt.
Sexy.
Walker came in and had a huge breakaway run.
66-yard run, was it?
And then when he was playing a couple weeks before that, he got like 8 carries or something like that. And he had that massive counter. I want to say one more thing about Walker on this one. I saw him do something that I haven't seen a running back do in a very long time. He was running the ball, and a lot of the times, excuse the crudeness on this one, but a lot of the times you see these like young, like what's the young dumb full of cum? Like these guys get so fired up, like let's go, and they just slam into the back of the line. They're so fired up. I watched Kenneth Walker come to a complete stop behind the line of scrimmage. Like he got the rock and he stopped almost too long. But and he got wrapped up and he got back to the line of scrimmage. But I was like, what a freaking move to like his vision and his patience are so prioritized for him that he's behind the line of scrimmage, stopped, being like, where am I going to go? And I've watched him bust counter plays for enormous gains on such a small sample size already. Like I'm bracing myself for like, and this is a sacred name to me. And Kenneth Walker's not in this category yet because he doesn't have the pass catching yet. But like the only name that comes to mind is Jamal Charles. Watching the way he moved and broke around and did crazy stuff, I'm like, this dude does his own work. Walker low end RB1 rest of the season, maybe.
No, like not a low end, dude. Like I think Kenneth Walker can be a top 5 running back the rest of the season. And there's really not much in his standing in his way. And let's just look at the last 2 games, okay? One of which Rashad Penny played in. He was the RB7 last week, and he was the RB5 right now with this game not included. So we're talking about a top 10 guy who hasn't even gotten better in his rookie season yet. Like he's just is who he is right now. Imagine when his vision gets better and he's played in enough NFL games. So yes, one of these guys like Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, these younger guys, I'm buying high right now if I can. I am selling what I can. I'm selling my preconceived notions on a Aaron Jones right now to go get one of these guys. You know, like these guys that are kind of struggling. Like maybe you can get a couple pop games out of Leonard Fournette and go move them for this guy. You know, Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs maybe not, but Miles Sanders, I'd go and sell. You know, to go get Kenneth Walker. You know, and Breece Hall. So those are the guys I'm looking at. And we've talked through this halftime here, and we got to sign off here. Any final words here? Austin for Whisper Nation.
I think right now this conversation, we talked about some names and some very volatile ways over the year, which we always knew we would, but it's just happening. Allen Robinson, are we dropping him? What are we doing? DJ Moore's been a weird cut candidate for a couple of weeks now, and now that Robbie Anderson got traded and the head coach got fired, it's like, it's all shaken up again now. We've got, we're talking about Kenneth Walker, we're talking about Breece Hall, quarterbacks. I mean, how many? You just told me of Matt Ryan, of how much action he had in the first half on these games. So my point with it is this season changes fast. There's dramatic pivots. People swear that it's going to go this way, and then something changes. There's not a lot that has to be different for a whole offense or team's makeup to be dramatically shifted. It's really not. And you're like, it's never going to happen. It's never going to change. And then your head coach gets fired and they bring in a new quarterback. Like, it does happen.
Yeah.
It is crazy. So just stay with it.
3-week windows. You want to look at things in like a 3-week window. What's going on? When you look at those points against and you're seeing, oh my God, it's a green matchup in my app. Like, go look at Fantasy Pros 3-week window and look at if that team is actually vibing with the way they have been all year. So, Donnie, what about you, man? You got anything for Whisper Nation before we head out of here?
Austin's been reading my brain all stream. He said exactly what I was going to say. Just keep at it. If you're 1-5 after this week, just keep at it. It's volatile. Go for trades. Go for waiver wire. Just keep at it. It's not over. Even if you think it's over, just like our guest last week said, like, just make the team you're going against lose. Screw their season, just go for it every week. And the last thing I want to say is that Austin, expect like 5 trade offers for Walker and the listener league after this. I'm going to be sending them.
CMC, dude, send them over.
I don't think I have Walker in the listener league,
I think
unfortunately.
you do. You don't?
No, I don't. I've got him in.
Got him everywhere else. No, no.
Okay. Whoever has it, expect it.
Not enough.
Not enough.
I
Really
will
quick.
echo what these guys. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Just traded Etienne and Judy for Najee. Did I win?
Eh.
It's fine, but
I mean,
Etienne-
Najee, you could play the game of Najee like regressing back towards like his volume last year. I definitely don't think he's a buy low, but I literally did just try to buy him low in a desperate league. Etienne, I think, and James Robinson both have a problem because they both are still healthy, so they're still going to eat into each other. Maybe you're buying that Najee, Steelers got to win. Najee got a touchdown, maybe there's something brewing. Maybe there's some turning around, up arrows there. Yeah. Did you win? I wouldn't have done this trade personally. We've kept on to ETN and his upside, but we don't know.
Just like the trade. I like.
I don't hate it. I
don't hate it.
Yeah.
Najee's one of those guys that does look like a guy in like 5 weeks. You'd be like, oh, he's back to like an high end RB2. Yeah.
And sometimes you got to go after the guys people are feeling really down on.
You have to be okay losing a trade on paper if you're trying to make moves. And so to echo what Austin and Donnie were talking about with like, oh, you got to, keep going. Yeah, in poker, sometimes you can ask the dealer to wash the deck, right? Because they've been shuffling it so many different ways that it's the same cards are kind of staying in there. They wash the deck. They move the whole deck around, right? So that way you're breaking, hopefully, the run in cards. That's what you're trying to do with trades and waivers sometimes. Yep. You're trying to break the mold of what's been going on, and I think that's kind of what we were hitting on a little bit tonight. So I appreciate everybody and their questions in here. Man, it was a fire chat tonight. I appreciate you guys rocking with us.
George is a first-timer.
Oh, welcome in, George. Welcome to Whisper Nation. We appreciate you, man. Your trade questions have the brain going tonight, so keep those up and keep it in and keep us updated on if anything
we'll be back tomorrow. Waiver Wire show Thursday.
Yep.
Alex Friday Caruso, hopefully better internet tomorrow with our boy Alex. We'll be good there.
What up, Robbie Bomb?
Be like George. Hit that subscribe button.
Yes. Update on the Walker trade for the listener league. It's for Jersey J, so I'm not going to get him.
Yeah. He'll want too much.
Yes.
For Donnie Tubbs, for Austin Sear, I'm Big Travie. We're the Fantasy Whispers, and we will see you tomorrow night. Peace.
It's on the YouTube.
Right here.
Look at you go. You made it to the end of another one of our videos. Hey, if you still have some questions, I totally understand. Or you just want to join an awesome fantasy football community, head on over to our Discord chat. Link is in the description below. And if you're still not sold on us, check out one of these videos.
George, if you're still watching 7:30 Eastern, brother, hit that Discord. We'll drop the link